Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Friday if you're watching the premiere. Happy whatever day it is if you're watching it later on. We've got a doozy. We've got an absolute long one here. This is about Focusrite or sliccrick360. I know immediately you're thinking you're gonna have to expect to be scammed by somebody named Slickrick. 360 is gonna do like a spin as he's taking your stuff, but I don't know if it's that simple. It seems like this is more and more complex the further I go into it. I was initially invited to a Discord that was basically a bunch of people saying they got scammed by Slickrick on Whatnot, and that he could have stolen up to $100,000. Basically that he got his instant cash out, his speed run to 1,000 sales through low-cost singles and dollar donations. Got that instant payout, and then after getting that payout, the instant payout, no longer shipped anything. So there's two sides to this. At the end of the video here, I have a very lengthy 2-hour. I know, guys. Make sure you have lots of food, beverage, bathroom breaks, whatever you need. It's going to be a long one, so I'm going to try and ream through the details, the Discord details as quickly as possible, as thoroughly as possible. And if you need to, it might be a multi-installment thing, but I wanted to include the entire context because I don't think it's as simple as just he's scammed everyone and that's it. If it was, I don't think he would have talked to me for as long as he did, and I don't think we'd see the other thing. So that Discord that I was invited to, of the people collecting information, the people that got scammed for the most part, I was removed from that Discord, which is a little bit fishy. You would think that people that got scammed by something would want me to expose the individual who scammed them if they have nothing to hide, but it seems like there's a little bit of a back and forth. It seems like there's a little bit of a bad intention on the people that got scammed and the person that did the scamming. So you would think, like, why is this still going on? If he was going to run off with the money, that's pretty much it. The majority of the transactions that took place were on Whatnot, so everyone has been or should have been or will be refunded for it, whether that's through Whatnot or not. Yeah. So everyone should be refunded or will be refunded if they purchase through Whatnot. There's some other transactions and deals, as always, with these rip and ship, whatever, flippy dippy Whatnot people. They like to do side transactions with each other where they send each other stuff without payment or lend each other money or lend each other cards, etc., etc. So there's always headache on that aspect. It never fails. There's always someone that's not going to have money to pay for something or pay something back. And that's usually where a lot of this stuff stems from. We've also seen recently that apparently all of these small streamers, or a lot of these small streamers, seem to think that, like, there's no market for them outside of like when you're dealing with people that have only a few thousand followers on Whatnot. It seems really odd to me that they think as each other as competition. Like, one individual that has 3,000 followers on Whatnot shouldn't be a threat to you. That shouldn't be like where you're losing all your money. I would imagine that there's more users than that on the platform, and that you should probably just be concentrating on making your own stuff good or making your own stuff appealing. But that's not where it comes from. They blame each other. It's drama fest 95. So early September, when he got that the instant payout, and I guess it was early September, that's when stuff stopped shipping. So I've seen a lot of the receipts and the label created but not shipped was in October. So we're gonna take a look at them, but there were a lot of shipping labels that were created and never given to USPS. According to Rick, as we'll see in the conversation, he is saying that the labels are automatically generated through Whatnot. So that could be the reason for it. Not necessarily that he was trying to create those shipping labels in an attempt to fool anyone. So if there's anyone at Whatnot that can reach out to me, Rick is also saying that he worked alongside with Whatnot and told them to reverse all the transactions, that all that money was actually going back to Whatnot. So we'll have to see. If he was lying about that, then clearly Whatnot didn't get their money, and then they'll have to pursue legal action if it's worth it for them. But yeah, I think that's a big question. Rick says he gave all the money back to Whatnot, or is giving all the money. All the transactions are going back to Whatnot. Whatnot is going to have to be the one that tells us whether or not he's actually cooperating with that. I would imagine that he probably is. I don't know. I can't confirm that for sure. So what do we have? We have, I guess, there's never been like an actual total in terms of like what the scam was. The Discord was kind of a mess of, you know, people that wanted to do anything but accumulate information in a meaningful way, and so the actual mess that's there, there was people that were saying that it was like $100,000 worth of stuff that he owed people. I kind of find that hard to believe. Rick says that that's a ridiculous number, and it isn't the case. So that's the thing too. We like to know how much the dollar value was of the stuff that didn't ship. That's kind of like a Whatnot thing as well, unless we go and add up all of the actual Whatnot transactions, which at this point are already refunded. So do we? I don't know. Okay, so yeah, that was a big question. That and the transactions. Guys, I say this time and time again, all the time, warning all the time. If you're gonna do, or you're gonna make transactions, especially large dollar amounts that you can't afford to lose, and it's not with somebody that is a super close friend, and no, it doesn't just because you G-baller each other and send some flame and skull emojis to each other every now and then, doesn't make you G-ballers for life. Do not send PayPal friends and family, Venmo, etc. Send it in a method that you can get your money back if all goes wrong. Whether you have to make some sort of credit card transaction through something like a platform, as much as I don't like Whatnot, if you have to do it through there, if you have to send it PayPal, goods and services, whatever you got to do, pay the extra fees and protect your butt. Got me? Cool. If it's a small dollar amount, it's a friend, a family member, by all means, go to town, whatever you got to do. But just be ready that you could get screwed over for whatever dollar amount that is. So there was apparently multiple medical excuses according to the people that were ripped off. There's a lot of this stuff that, like, it seems like there isn't a whole lot of I guess screenshots to back that up. There's screenshots, but there's a lot of these details that seem like they're tacked on in a way that it's making it more than what it is. And you would think that if they had all of these screenshots that they would provide them. So there was a list of excuses. I think this was most of them coming from Delta Raptor, who was claiming that he was saying that his daughter was sick, traveling all over the world, daughter's birthday, he's sick, he's tired, ran out of supplies, that the USPS location was messed up, PayPal was locked. So some of these, yes, we do have screenshots for, but there's a lot of these that we don't. And for Delta, the person that started the Discord and the person that kicked me from the Discord, to not provide a lot of those screenshots to show that stuff is a little bit suspect to me. Again, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me for them to not want me to provide my insight, provide my coverage and research into this at no charge to them. And if they had no nefarious, I guess, reason behind it, like the fact that Pokeveda was in that Discord, that Pokeveda was actually one of the people that was promoting sliccrick360, which doesn't really surprise me. Rick seems to think that Veda is out for him, and this was kind of the result of that, but everything kind of happened all at the same time. So I guess the beginning or the planning stage of this, if Veda was actually behind any of it, you guys remember Veda and Veda wife, they're absolutely nuts. They're probably in the comment section right now in the Discord. They had their little tirade or whatever. He got banned from Whatnot for harassing people, and he had the same outlook. He was framed We were just out to get him, whatever. Everybody's a snake, etc. But there were screenshots for that. It showed clearly that he was harassing people in DMs. He was leaving false feedback. He was shillbidding. He was what else? I mean, he was banning people with no reason, which is against terms of service, just because they associated with other people. Stuff like that. Anything. A million different rules that he broke. So it's no surprise that he was kicked off the platform. And again, he's one of those guys that's like, oh yeah, well, it's just because I was too much competition for them. No, your 13,000 followers on Whatnot is not competition for anyone. I'm sorry. I'm not competition for anyone on YouTube. In terms of like, you think somebody's views, like a bigger channel or even a smaller channel, is going to suffer in views because I'm making videos as well? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't check out. So the location of our perpetrator, Rick, it seems like he was shipping out of an old location. I didn't get the exact details on that. He didn't quite share concise details other than the fact that he moved, but then he was still shipping out of the old location. And he said it was for privacy reasons, which doesn't add up, because that why wouldn't you just get a PO box? I don't get it. Anyway, so white Range Rover. I heard all sorts of information. I don't have actual receipts on it. He has a white Range Rover, which makes sense because he had an Instagram post where he was flex balling in front of it. Poking Slick Rick was posing in front of his Range Rover, and I had someone inform me that the vehicle was involved in local thefts, Pokemon related thefts. He's saying that the Range Rover has been broken down for an extended amount of time and that hasn't even been driven at his current location, that they had to put it on a flatbed to move it to the new location. So I don't know about that. That seems like it might be some kind of like made up extended stuff. I can't tell. Rick says that's one of those things that like it could just be made up stuff, and we kind of have to dismiss it until we actually have solid information that that's an actual thing. So we get into in the phone call what his relationship is with Pokaveda. That Pokaveda promoted his streams, and it's like an ongoing thing. Rick is adamant, and I think he says a few times that he wishes that he never met Pokaveda, and he thinks that like the whole downfall of the entire thing was largely to do with him. So I guess Rick's stance is the fact that he was sick for a week and he had to catch up on everything, but then everything blew up and then he just kind of gave up on all of it. It's hard to say. I'm going to say that there are no saints here, but I think that's kind of the theme with Whatnot. I think everyone is just out to F each other in the B, and why anyone would want to participate in any of this is a mystery, maybe. And I'm going to send out the invite, the invite right here to anyone that was actually scammed. If you would like to get on and speak with me about what happened, the exact details, feel free to do so. But yeah, that's about it. I don't know if there's ever going to be like a complete full story resolution here, because I feel like I'm getting some lies on both ends, and we're not going to get the full story. Is probably not worth the time and effort that it would take to actually get that full. This is not cut and dry. I feel like this is not like one person is wrong than the other and we can just expose the wrong person. I feel like everyone's just jerking each other's buttholes here. It's Whatnot, guys. It's Whatnot. For the love of God, just don't go on Whatnot. Okay, so we had some people saying that like he sent money back when it was goods and services, pre-rip-offs, and we didn't have like an actual. I don't think there was any screenshot indicating stuff, but or that it was like in context that like maybe they were getting a deal, but then they sent it goods and services when they were requested to send it friends and family. Again, it's like all this little petty stuff that like is just involving too much money for transactions between these people that are, I mean, probably not the most reliable. I think that's the nicest way we can put it. So They were also claiming in the Discord that Rick was selling the same cards to different people, since none of it would be shipped anyway. The people in the Discord were kind of saying that they purchased the same cards as each other. And then we had one person in the Discord, and I asked Rick about that, who claims he bought the same first edition Rocket Zapdos from Rick twice. So this, I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but there's something, because apparently Rick says that the individual that bought that Zapdos asked in the stream if he was selling the Zapdos again, and then Rick showed both Zapdoses on the screen. So this is another one of those reasons why Whatnot should just make all of their stuff visible to the public, at least to any users that are there that want to go back and watch these VODs, so they can actually go back and check this stuff. I can't check it now because all of the videos are private, and so I have to just assume that nothing went on there, because I can't do it. If I had pictures of both, if I had video evidence of both the Zapdos being sold, the Zapdos being resold, we could match the holo foil, etc. I'm sure he probably showed it off, but yeah. Again, it's just like a dead end, and it's like a he said, she said, instead of just having that video there, which I think it's a detriment to Whatnot. Sure, we'd be showing that people are ripping people off on the platform, but at least we'd be able to like narrow it down. And them hiding their videos or having them private, but they have the videos, because they always reference the fact that they have the videos, all the recordings of the streams, the VODs, whatever you want to call them, but they don't let you look at it. So they're kind of protecting scams in a way that to that extent, in my opinion. I think it would do them a lot of good to keep them public. I've said this before, but yeah. So there was somebody else that was claiming that there was a Shadowless Charizard that was sold 3 times, $2,300, 2 days later for $2,600, and then the next day again for $2,900. And then he was offering to get the cards graded, which buys them more time to hold and resell the same cards. Again, I didn't see any photo evidence or video evidence showing that he was actually selling the same cards. This could be speculation, or this just could be like angry Discord hate mob that doesn't want Rattle Pokemon's help, but they're going to make all these strong accusations and statements. So again, guys, I'm not saying Rick is the good guy here. He did definitely bail on all of his stuff that he was supposed to send out. He did get himself involved with some shady people, and I don't know. It's just shade. There's shade all over the place. It's not good. It's absolutely not good. So there's people in the Discord as well that are claiming this and made them want to quit Pokemon, or better yet, open their own stuff. I think that's the way to go. You can find people to open with if you're looking for that sense of community. We do it in Happy Hour every week. Shout out to Happy Hour Saturday. Join the Discord. So in this Discord that I sifted through, I spent way too much time looking through. It was an absolute mess. These people that were scammed, again, this is reminding me of like the Celebrations UPC people that got ripped off by the fake store that was selling pre-orders. This reminds me of that. They were like trading each other and talking about everything that wasn't the actual concern. So in that Discord, we had Delta. Delta came in and gave us a visit on the, I think it was the second Pokeveda video, and like he got muted or whatever by a mod because he was freaking out, saying that Veda was like a good guy or something. Again, probably not the hill you want to die on, and probably not something that you want to spout if you're claiming to be like a victim of any kind, clearly defending somebody that is harassing people and they got removed from the platform. Not a good look. So in the Discord mess, my God, we had Delta Raptor. He was playing around with the nicknames, changing everyone's nicknames. Like, I don't know if this dude, like, he's all over the place. It's like he's either, he was drunk a bunch of times in there, going on about how drunk he was. He was changing everyone's nickname to like Jesus and Mary and etc. I have no idea how or why that became a thing when you create a Discord designed to gather information on a scammer. So it seems like Veda might be pulling his strings a little bit, but again, if you guys would like to speak to me, Delta, if you'd like to share your story, and you can keep it on topic, you feel free to reach out, and we can have a chat. So they had buying and selling in there. We had promoting streams. Like Veda was in there nonstop. At the beginning, he's like, "Oh, I'm so ashamed that I that I promoted this Slick Rick guy. I can't believe I would do that, and like I'm so disappointed." And then the rest of the time he was in there, he was just telling people what he was selling on, that he was going to stream, etc. And it's just a mess. Like there was a couple times where he's like, "Oh yeah, live's gonna add everyone. I'm gonna stream, guys. I'm gonna stream on Instagram." And then he fell asleep or something, passed out a couple times. I think it's standard practice, I guess. When he was supposed to talk to me, if you guys don't remember, he decided he was gonna have a nap, and then his wife called me 15 minutes after our arranged time on her way to work to tell me that he was sleeping instead, and then he didn't want to talk to me after that. So that goes to say a lot. I think anyone that doesn't want to talk to me or doesn't want to clear things up is probably a little bit more likely. I'm not saying that they're definitely in the wrong, but I'm gonna say that it's definitely an indicator. If you don't want to actually reach out and resolve things or share information, it's probably a bad sign. But probably, like, if you kick me from the Discord, not that matters. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Oh, yeah, we had the product drops in there. We had people trying to get Charizard UPCs, etc. And yeah, well, like, I guess most of all though, like Veda and his wife self-promoting his like comeback Instagram nonsense and encouraging people to false like my videos. So when you have a group of people that have been apparently ripped off by Slick Rick, and then they're in there associating themselves with Veda, who was rightfully banned from Whatnot, and they're being encouraged to false flag my videos. They're gonna buy stuff and do deals with him. Cool tidbit here. I had somebody reach out to me recently, and they gave a collection to Veda for him to sell on the platform, and they were going to split the money. I think it was 60-40 or something like that. And Veda doesn't have the money to pay for the items that were sold. The items are already sold. The items are paid out, but he does not have the money to pay the individual. So this is another instance of, like, if these people were actually ripped off in any way, outside of the Whatnot stuff that was all refunded, regardless, they're now setting themselves up to be ripped off again by somebody who, sorry, but I already warned you. Chances are, if I warn you not to associate with someone, it's for a good reason. There's not too many people. I can disagree with people and be like, whatever, I disagree with their take on something. This is an example of just like, if you're around Poca Vida Veda and wife Vida Mavida, you're asking for trouble, you're bringing yourself down, and you're gonna crash and burn. This is another example of that happening. It's never ending. So Rick and his wife that went by Paris they were at Collecticon Denver, which is interesting. And initially I thought, like, how he's too sick and he's this behind on orders, etc., to ship things out, and this is how the Discord made it sound. But they could travel to Collecticon. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Again, maybe that's them pushing it, but it seems like a lot of this stuff happened while Collecticon was going on. So maybe that played a role in it. I don't know exactly how things lined up in terms of the hearsay whatever beforehand, but yeah, that's kind of it. I'm gonna take a look through. We'll go through the receipts, and we'll see what exactly what the Discord was saying. We're gonna see everything the Discord is saying. I'm gonna kind of include some of Rick's takes in there, but I do encourage you guys to watch the entire, I know it's 2 hours, 2-hour conversation with Rick, and just for full context. And I don't, if maybe this was done and over with, But again, if people would like to either make a statement, the people that were ripped off, they are welcome to do so. Reach out to me and we can record a call. If we need to, if they'd like to, we can get Rick on a call with the people that he scammed, and we can bang it right out. Why not? I'd like to thank the Zard Exchange for providing a good chunk of the information, gathering lots of the tidbits from the very unorganized people that were scammed. Shout out to them. I'd like to think that they took a very neutral approach to this, and as we saw in the end here, it just keeps getting more complicated. The details are all over the place, but we'll see what we can do here. We'll take a look at a lot of that in this video. All right, let's run through a couple pictures here. Here is the sliccrick setup. We got the card plug with the plug. People love to use that plug, both for plug as in source of something and plug as in of the butt variety. Seen that a few times recently. Very interesting emoji, multi-use. So we got nothing but bangers. Again, guys, I don't know what is going on with people having way too much trust in each other. But here's what the stream looks like. Here we got Rick at the Collecticon Denver, which got people really riled up in the Discord. Again, I find it really hard to believe that he would be going to a Collecticon if he knew everything was going the way it was going, and that if he was actually trying to rip off Whatnot, that he would be there with the Whatnot people. He claims he was there with the Whatnot people. If you were one of the Whatnot people there with him, please reach out and confirm. All right, so here we have a fabricated conversation, or I guess one of the guys from the Discord who was pretending to be somebody else and to sell Rick a collection of sorts in order to get his information or location. And this is where they kind of like discovered that he's shipping to somewhere that isn't where he is located now. So keep... I guess that just kind of shows that it's different. We went through that with him, and it seems like he moved. I didn't get a real answer on why he was still doing the shipping stuff to the old location. But yeah, you guys do with that what you must. We have here with the Range Rover video. So I guess in terms of like finding a vehicle, that's it. The thing is too, like a lot of this stuff, a lot of the transactions that were done outside of Whatnot, like everyone seems like they got their Whatnot refund and maybe they're happy with that. I think that was just going to happen regardless and not really something to worry about. But I'm just hoping all the transactions that were outside of that get resolved, and I think that's more what we have to look into. So this is where the Range Rover stuff comes into play, and we discussed that in our conversation. Okay, so this is the part that had a lot of people, I guess, worked up, is the fact that all these shipping labels were created, but they weren't actually shipped out. So I don't know how much of this like was Rick saying like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, it's shipped out, and it wasn't actually shipped out. It was just the label was created. But he also gave the explanation that it was just the fact that the labels are auto-created by Whatnot, and that at that point he had given up and he was no longer going to ship this stuff. So then it was going to remain as the shipping label created, but not actually used, not actually scanned in by USPS, which makes sense. I don't know why you wouldn't just kind of say that to everyone to begin with. I think that mode of like communication is probably the way to go. Just say like, hey, I'm done. This is the, you're going to get a refund. Don't worry, through Whatnot, if he was working with Whatnot. So here we have the Delta Raptor conversations with Rick. Delta, if you'd like to smarten the hell up, again, feel free to, we can chat. We can absolutely chat. But I don't know. I feel like you might be just as nefarious, or at least somewhat nefarious, as Rick here. I don't get a good feeling when you're defending someone that was clearly harassing people. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so Ricky and Delta here. Here we just have, I guess, Ricky saying that he has a lot of feedback. He told me that on the phone as well, that they were doing like a homie hookup off the platform, that he should trust them. Again, I don't know if you necessarily want to do something like that, but again, it's your money. Just know that you're going to have a huge headache, and or you're potentially going to lose all that money if the person decides that they don't want to. So here's more of the the tracking stuff, which I think is a whole separate event. This is October 4th. It doesn't show the date on this one. So again, this could be like a whole different conversation. So here he's saying that he's good. So is Ricky just leading him on here? Even if he planned the whole time to just have Whatnot refund everything, here he's kind of telling him that the shipping label is good. So I think we have somebody that's purchasing off platform, probably using like friends and family in an inappropriate way. But then we also have him leading them on, saying that it's going to ship, that it's good, that the stuff is starting to land again. I don't know. So it looks like Rick is definitely in the wrong, at least in terms of just like he should have just, if he was bailing and he was just going to have everything refunded through Whatnot that sold on those last streams, he should have just said, everything's getting refunded, I'm out, see you guys, bye. But not the case. He led people on, so at least to that degree. Where the actual truth lies in that, was he planning on scamming and then he didn't want to scam in the end? Is he still scamming? Again, we'd have to find out from Whatnot if the money is actually coming. Is it coming from Whatnot's emergency fund, or is it actually coming back from Rick? That's kind of the biggest question here. So Delta, I don't know what it is. They're reading through that Discord. There were numerous cases of people saying that they should jump kick Rick, that they should beat him up, etc. Like, what is with these? Like, it's especially bad on Whatnot, and I don't know if it's just like the adult child mentality. It's not everyone. Again, guys, it's not everyone on Whatnot. I'm saying there's individuals on there, but the general consensus with disagreements is physical violence or death threats and hate and harassment. I don't get it. It's like preschool nonsense here. So I'm good with a good insult battle, a good little if you wanna talk trash to each other, sure, whatever, that can be funny. But Delta here saying, also, I can't say this enough, nobody personally go after Slick right now until he is a proven criminal. We should not send any death threats or hate comments. Newsflash, you should never send death threats, or I guess hate comments would be all right, as long as there's no threat of violence or death. But just, if I don't care how much of a criminal or how much someone ripped you off, advice here, rattle advice, pro tip, never death threat, never threaten death, never threaten violence. You're gonna get yourself in legal trouble. That's like, it's ridiculous. Also, do not threaten lawsuits. Your lawyer will not be impressed that you're doing so. Well, usually you're not actually threatening. You're just threatening. It's an empty threat. But never, death threat, never. I don't care how much of a criminal the person is. Do not threaten somebody with death. I can't believe I have to tell people this. But yeah. So here we have C Money. So if you guys don't remember, C Money was the one that had the stream that got a little bit bamboozled. He made the sliccrick360 scammed my butthole Whatnot stream, and Veda crashed that. He got on there and he started like the Veda that was banned from Whatnot. So as I mentioned in a previous video, clearly I don't even have to look at terms of service to know that you can't co-host a stream with somebody that's permanently banned from the platform. It should be plain as day. Apparently both of them seem to want to believe that it wasn't a thing. It's definitely a thing. We'll take a look at that too. The conversation that went on with that. I do have some screenshots of what happened there. So C Money here. This is DMs with Rick apparently before he did his I got scammed stream. Rick is saying that C Money needed the money for drug dealers. He needed like $10,000. So he was kind of like holding, I guess, this against Rick, that he needed 10 grand, which is more than the amount that he actually was owed, because he was in trouble with drug dealers. So we'll have to talk to C Money if he would like to do so. C Money seems like somebody that can be, I don't know, I'm going to try to sound not too mean, but somebody that can be easily manipulated. Clearly he let Veda onto his stream. He did get suspended because of that. So like it just seems like the kind of person that maybe Veda is like pulling the strings for. Veda, not a very smart person. His wife also just is loose cannon, ridiculous. The two of them are absolutely ridiculous, and not very intelligent. But maybe they can manipulate people to do something like that. So here we got tracking, and here we have Rick saying that the package accidentally went to his niece with C Money's name on it. So I don't know. There's a lot of excuses, a lot of different excuses here. But god damn, can you guys stop fire emojiing so hard? It's ridiculous. So here are the C Money messages. The package seemed to be always like almost on the way. A lot of these explanations, and this is like, if you were just bailing on everything, don't tell people everything's almost on the way. This is like full meltdown crisis mode where if you're shutting everything down, just refund everything and be done with it and get away from it. So here we have a more Slick Rick, C Money. You never get the full. It's very hard to convince somebody to actually like record a full conversation, etc., so that we can have the entirety of the context here. But told you I'd sauce you 10 bands. If people are calling money bands, you don't want to be involved with them. I'm sorry. On a homie tip, I boomed that out twice now. I told you I'm in treatment, so don't respond, don't trip. So the 10 bands, 10 G's, I told the same exact time I told you I would send you 10 G's you needed for whatever. So this kind of lines up with the story that Rick's telling, where C Money needed the $10,000 for, he's saying, drugs, and they're kind of like discreet about what they're talking about here. 10 G's, 10 bands. I don't know, guys. Maybe there's some truth on both sides. There's definitely some deceitful stuff going on both ends here. Guys, remember when I said Whatnot is an absolute disaster mess, and you probably don't want to get involved with all these people? Here's your proof. All right, more to C Money here. Okay, sending it out, gonna send it out. More with C Money here. He's promising that he's gonna send it. C Money's freaking out. He was also freaking out because he was suspended and needed money. But then he got involved with Rick, or not with Rick, he got involved with Veda, and Veda is the type of person that he will say like, hey, if you need anything, just let me know whenever you're like going through something, or whenever somebody's like been ripped off or whatever. But I don't know what is he gonna console you? Is he gonna take a nap about it? Like, he doesn't have money to help you out. So it's weird that he's gonna hook you up and let you buy some of his product, maybe. All right, more with C Money here. Just more of like, it's coming. It's probably not coming. A lot of it just needs to be refunded and fixed. So here's some different excuses with Adu. I thought it was Ado 11. It's Adu 11 apparently, with a Zard. So I don't know, guys. Is it is it what are we looking at here? Let's before we get into this, let's go back and take a look at some of the screenshots with the Veda stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at Veda's featured posts here and within the Discords. Again, not very helpful. It's hard to say. I mean, he might be like pulling some strings behind the curtains of I don't know. Delta seems to have a hard on for Veda, so maybe some of that. Surely, I mean, it's even to the point that like C Money isn't upset with the fact that he came on a stream and got him suspended. I don't get it, guys. If you're gonna, just a warning, you probably don't want to involve yourself with Poca Vita. I can't say Vita, it's Veda. It's Veda. He spelled it wrong. All right. So apparently he can't believe that he let Slick trick him into promoting him. Well, that's what happens when you circle jerk, promote everyone, and manipulate people and harass them and everything else. I don't know, guys. Why does anyone put that? Like, it's painful enough having to cover this stuff and look into it. I can't imagine actually being on the platform and having to deal with this crap. So he says, dude, I swear me and Veda wife were suspect after about 2 weeks of his shit. I just didn't want to jump the gun and place judgment on him too soon without some type of proof. That doesn't sound like you. You seem like a gun jumper, if I had to say one. I'm not buying this. Here, after he promotes his stream, he says, "At everyone, I ended up passing out last night and didn't go live. Sorry for the teaser, lol." What is this? Like a theme? Like how like I guess this is like peak like whatnot streamer responsibility level. Like you say you're gonna do something, regardless of how important it is, and you just end up passing out, whether it's induced by anything. But you're just gonna have a nap instead of doing things that you say you're gonna do, whether it's a conversation with me or it's a stream. So here's C Money realizing that he got suspended because Veda was on a stream after Veda was permanently banned from Whatnot, and that's a no-no. That's an obvious no-no, I would think. C Money says, "I'm so mad right now. Since I had Veda on my co-host, they suspended my account, and they said if I have one more problem, I'm banned. Could things get any worse? Now I'm extra fucked. I had no idea about what happened to him. This is terrible. I can't catch a break. Everyone was telling me to ping him. I had no idea. They set me up for failure." So, I mean, I guess you can kind of play dumb here and say that like you didn't realize that him permanently banned from the platform coming onto another account to join your live would be against terms of service. I don't know if that's, is anyone, guys? Like, surely he probably like coerced you into being on there, and he was screaming at people and whatever, calling everyone snakes, and surely not a good. He turned to the oopsie doopsie. I get scammed by Slick Rick, and turned it into the Poca Vita. Oh my God, Rattle Pokemon and the boys, they were out to get me. I totally got framed, and they're all snakes. No, you were gonna get banned regardless. You already had strikes, and you already were in hot water with all of that stuff. It didn't matter. You broke every rule I think possible. There's probably a couple rules you didn't break, but all right. So here's his explanation and his apology. He loves to add everyone. Still doesn't know how Discord works. I guess the fact that you don't need to add everyone every time you post anything, you can lay off of those. In my defense, everything I said was true, and I pointed out the obvious snakes that were modded up in that stream for y'all's best interest, not mine. Again, not his fault, guys. Not his fault that he was banned. Not his fault that he went onto somebody's, co-host and got them suspended, and now they're one strike away from losing their account. Not his fault though, guys. He's doing everything for everyone else here. On top of that, I was invited into the stream multiple times before I even came in the stream. I was for sure wrong for cussing at a user while co-hosting, and C Money, I really am sorry you faced repercussions from my actions. I don't think you're really sorry. You seem very selfish. And clearly this was going on in general, not just the fact that you were screaming at someone, that you were losing your shit on there. The fact that you went on there at all, the two of you both should have known that it was against terms of service. You did this for yourself, and it was selfish. And if you were any sort of friend to C Money, you wouldn't have. Let that sink in, C Money. He doesn't have your best interest at heart. I don't know why I need to explain this to you. I don't know why you still talk to the person. This is ridiculous. Some people just love being shit on, I guess. Emotions are still pretty high from those select individuals sabotaging my entire brand I've worked so hard to build. It was 13K on friggin' Whatnot. And that wasn't anyone sabotaging you. That was you harassing people and breaking rules. You broke probably, I don't know if you get 3 strikes on there, but I can list off more than that, to the point that like you probably could have got banned twice. Even after my ban, they've continued to come after me. No, you came into the Discord and you made a fool of yourself, so I figured I would rub it in even more. So this is the person. He's in the Discord with these people, and they're buddy with them. So it kind of leads me to believe that like some of this is being overstated for that reason. I think maybe there's a little bit more to the story. All right. Here's Pokeveda advertising. So this is the Discord designed to gather information on Slickrick the scammer, but at the same time, Pokeveda is in here adding everyone. Just dropped a huge claim sale with everything 10% off. 5 exclusive vouchers dropped as well. Limited time offer. Hope everyone is doing awesome today. So you're in there adding everyone every time you're in there to self promote and to get people to go to your stuff. This one's pretty funny. So he's claiming that we Andrew Tated him. And Delta is there to suck his cock with a Andrew Tate smoking cigar gif. And again, he's smoking. They couldn't compete after I even supported and promoted all of them myself. And once they got what they wanted out of me, they canceled my ass. What did people get out of you? There's this weird headspace that him and some other people seem to be in, where they think like they're big, but they're not. I don't get it. What do we got here? They got their few minutes of fame from me. Good for them. That's as good as it will get for them. Unfortunately, I have major plans in the works. I just need to move the rest of this other inventory to help the cause. Snorty face emoji. I'd hate to know the brightest light I was ever able to be under came from trying to ruin someone else's life that has sunk thousands of dollars into this community without even asking for a thank you. So this is the weird thing too. Like, in what world do you think you can be a Whatnot flipper and like deserve some kind of like thank you from the community that you bought a bunch of cards and sold them for a profit? It's like it absolutely blows my mind. I don't get it. Here's him again. This is the kind of nonsense. I think there was like 10 photos or something. But just spamming images of the cards that he has that he's selling in the Discord throughout the conversation of people gathering information on the people that the person Rick that apparently ripped everybody off. So I gotta sift through Pokeveda's advertisements in order to gather the amount of information that I can from this. So at everyone, I'm going live on IG right now with a huge EX era collection. Don't miss it, fam. Flamey emojis. So this is it. I don't know. There's more than that. I can't be bothered to actually like screenshot and show you guys all of it, but you get the point. He was in there to say, oopsie doopsie, I promoted the guy, and then the rest of it was just him spamming self-advertising nonsense throughout the entire thing. Surprise, surprise. All right, back into the receipts from the Discord. Now that we got that little rant out of the way of people doing shit that, or posting stuff that had nothing to do with the fact that they were trying to gather information. Here we have Rick telling M. Haynes that he was out of poly mailers, that he was going to send more. We had a little bit of a conversation here with, I think M. Haynes was the one that had the Zapdos. If I recall correctly, we had that conversation in the phone call that's coming up at the end of the video. But yeah, so apparently out of poly mailers at this point in time. Here we have seemingly what I thought was Rick buying time with grading. These are messages with Mr. Anderson 247. So keep those in mind. I'm gonna bring up every single one of these individuals in the phone call. And again, if any of these people would like to reach out to give me full context on the situation, their situation with Rick, and whether or not Rick participates in the call to discuss, by all means, we can do that too. Here we have, this was apparently, we had Howlin here, who said that this Instagram giveaway for a fossil pack, that he was picked as the winner, but it was never shipped. And I think there was somebody else in the Discord as well that claimed they were supposed to get a Moonbryon from Rick, but it never happened. Again, I don't know. That could be like something too, that if he made that promise, was it just a lie? Or was it the fact that, like, if people came down on him about all the other stuff, that he decided he didn't want to gift anything to people or send any of the free stuff away? Your guess is as good as mine. All right, here we have the, I guess this was a Lispinator conversation with Rick. I don't know if he went by a different name on the Discord, and that's why Rick didn't recognize the name, or if there's anything more to that. But here we have, apparently he didn't have a phone, that it's floating in Denver. Not sure what that means, but again, more other excuses for like not shipping stuff out. Would like to find out, Lispinator, if you'd like to reach out to me, if you'd like to tell me if you haven't to go by a different name, if you'd like to share any of the details. Here we have a reply. This is a King Boo Subaru messaged Rick's wife, and then got this message from Rick. Very lengthy one here. I'm not going to read through it. If you'd like to pause the video and read through it yourself, by all means, feel free to do so. So basically, more excuses, more kind of like, I guess it's more of like a heartfelt message. This is a lot of text. That's the continued version of it. We got Big Hits TCG. So again, brought this up to Rick. Here, Rick tries to convince him that a spam text is his PayPal being down at the moment. So this could be just like he intends to pay people back. Maybe, I hope that it all gets resolved. But here, this is like clearly a spam message that Rick is sending to Big Hits TCG in an attempt to make him think that his PayPal is down at the moment. Whether his PayPal is actually down and he got this at the same time and thought this was an actual, I have a hard time believing anyone believes any of these, but if they send the text out, I guess they must be fooling somebody, right? Now, we have, I guess this is just continued Walmart to Walmart transactions. I didn't even know those were a thing, but it kind of makes sense. Here's more of the Big Hits TCG. So this like burgundy and baby poop brown is what you're looking at. All right, and then last but not least, we have this one here where this apparently Slick only refunds one of Adu 11's cards. So take what you will from that. Again, guys, there's a lot of excuses going on here. I'm kind of glad that a lot of the transactions were done through Whatnot, so that at least people got refunded eventually. I'm going to leave you guys to listen to my call with Rick. The beginning of it is a little bit rough, but I'm going to include that anyway, where he's in the car and I can't really hear what he's saying. So I would imagine that the video is probably similar. But here's his statement. And again, guys, anyone that's mentioned in there, anyone that had any transactions with Rick, if you'd like to speak to me, you are welcome to do so. Everyone gets a chance to speak. Veda, I don't, as long as you don't sleep in like Veda. But yeah, here's the conversation. I called, and then I had called him back on another number to make things easier. So here is that conversation, and that's why it starts out the way that it does. It's because he told me to call him back.
Hello.
G'day. Is this Rick?
Yes.
Hi. How's it going?
All right. How are you?
Not too bad. Thanks for talking to me. I just wanted to clear some stuff up with you. I'm kind of looking into, I guess, the disaster that is your recent transactions, and just wanted to make sure
I'm
that.
I'm actually more than happy to clear any of it up.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Give me 1 sec.
Okay.
I'm driving. You get pulled over and take you off the car speaker.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be better. No rush, by the way.
Hello.
Hey. Okay. That's better.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm more than happy to clear my side here.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen quite a few, I guess, receipts. It looks like it's quite a mess at this point. So I'll run you through what I'm seeing. So I guess for the most part, most of the transactions have probably been refunded at this point by Whatnot.
That's correct.
Okay. Do you know exactly how much you owe people at the moment? Or like an estimate even?
There's legitimately nothing left outstanding. I've worked with Whatnot's Trust and Safety Department top to bottom.
Okay. And is did they get the money back from you?
No, through Whatnot.
Okay, through Whatnot. All right. So Whatnot
got
seeking?
The money from me.
They got the money from you. Okay. I just didn't know if Whatnot had retrieved the funds from you or not.
Yeah. No, that takes place virtually immediately.
Okay. Yeah. Because
so that actually happened by my request.
Okay. Yeah, because like the story that I'm hearing is basically that you did sort of like a speed run to 1,000 sales to get that like the immediate payout or the instant payout, and then like everything since September has not been shipped.
Yeah, I mean that's not even remotely accurate. I mean I still have a dashboard that shows what's delivered and what's not.
Yeah, I've seen like countless. I guess USPS tracking numbers that just, it says that the tracking number was created. It just was never actually accepted by USPS.
Right. That's starting in October. So there was one little thing that went afoul on a personal note. And that led to like a full-blown smear campaign stream, that got co-hosted by some guy that was writing me, telling me if I send him money, he'll get the Whatnot admins to kill the whole thing right now. Meanwhile, he was like in the stream bashing me. Like this weird blackmail-y, crazy shit. And he was already banned from Whatnot at the time, apparently. So it was this whole
what was their username?
Wonky nightmare. This guy Pokey Vita. Okay.
Yeah, he was banned recently. I've had a little run in with him. If you haven't seen it,
So I was actually in Denver at Collecticon, like with Whatnot.
Okay.
And that's when this took place. So essentially, a guy told me that, well, not Vita. So the other guy that was doing it, that hosted the stream, let me know that if I sent him this exorbitant amount of money over what our issue was, that he wouldn't run this stream. Like, dude, fuck you. I'm not paying anyone to not say anything, right? Talk all you want to. I don't care who you are, what your platform is. Talk away. Yeah, I'm just not. Hang on 1 second. Sorry.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, it just turned into a whole shit show, right? It was a complete fiasco. I was coming off of a week of being sick. 1.9 thousand orders. Everything landed until that week of being sick, followed by like buzzing to Denver. Had already had things packaged up, ready to rock. I'm going on with business as usual when this happened, and I just got hit with a flurry. This isn't something I need in my personal life to just get trashed and bashed. Every order that I sent out was 5 stars. Everything was holy shit quick. Everything was the condition it said. It was just a constant. And I'm not.
But it was like really, some of that stuff was like a month or whatever before people opened cases, right?
Yeah, I mean, not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
No,
I think just like until recently there was a lot of people
that. But nothing until it was literally in October. I got sick. Came off of that, and I mean that's where it fell. So going to be shipping everything when I got back from Collecticon. Got completely trashed. Reached out to Whatnot, Trust and Safety Department, over and over and over to try to get them to stop that. All while being hit with these nonsense. If you pay me, I'll stop. If you pay me, I can get these people to end it. And it just turned into a nightmare. I don't need this. I immediately got in correspondence with Whatnot and told them we need to shut this down. So I can let everyone formulate their opinions as much as they want to. I immediately took responsibility on a financial level. There was nothing left pending anywhere. So this is one of those things that gained a lot of traction in an online setting. That's like people that there were people affected by it. Very, very clearly, there were people affected by it. Right? There were orders that I just did not send out.
Yeah,
those people got their money back. I think a lot of the people making the most noise are the ones that just picked up steam and didn't really know what was going on. And I got in contact with Whatnot immediately. So it was a long correspondence figuring out how to move forward with it. Came to that resolution and moved on.
Okay.
Just so there's no one left out there, you know.
Like from my end, like just listening to the people that are complaining about it, like I've heard like that it was not only like the week that you were off or sick, but there was other excuses like if your kid was sick, that you were traveling, that you had like birthday parties, or like you were sick, you were tired, that you ran out of supplies. I think like that your USPS location was messed up, and I think someone showed that you'd said that your PayPal was locked, so you couldn't pay them back or something. But
yeah, that's dude that ran the trash video. So yeah, I mean, 100%. My PayPal got locked up every time I turned around. Try to send money, try to receive money, try to cash money out. They locked me up at every turn. And this was literally a matter of like, hey, I'm going to send this to you today. Like today. The very first day he asked for that, I said, yeah, absolutely. This is off of someone that was getting a $4,000 order from me that paid me $2,400 and asked for $500 back. So we were at $1,900 out of $4,000, and he didn't get his order.
Right.
So I told him, hey, I'm in Denver. I 100% will pay you 100 million %. The second it lets me press this button, I'm going to press the button. Tried repeatedly. It was locked. This is something that has happened very frequently, put me in crappy spots very frequently on a personal level. And he said, well, you can send me all of the money I need to pay these people. But apparently he took some crazy loan. It's all nonsense, man. realistically, it's all nonsense. I understand wherever you're coming from or whatever. Every one of those whatnot orders, out of 1.9 thousand orders, the almost 2,000 orders total, there was probably about 100 inside of that small time span that didn't go out. Mind you, running 30, 40, 50 lots per stream. That's just a few days. And those people are refunded through whatnot. So there's no, it's just what it is. I'm out. I'm done. I did what I had to do to take care of it with whatnot.
Okay.
People can say whatever they want.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I just want to make sure that like everyone that paid you by other means, whether it be like PayPal, friends and family, or Cash App or whatever, Venmo, that gets squared up as well.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's not oh boy, we've completely fallen out of contact. It's just is what it is. He has my information. He can reach out. I'm in no hurry to reach out to him. Be completely bashed, destroyed, lied, just dick me top to bottom. So I'm at the moment he wants to reach out to clear it up. I'm not a person to shy away from anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But every other order, like I said, was done through whatnot. It's taken care
of. Okay. Quick question. Is there a reason why the shipping address that you were using is different than where you're actually living?
I mean, just like typical safety precaution.
Okay. Are you just shipping through somebody else's house?
No, it's a prior address, but
okay.
Either way, it's sending things online to strangers. It's not
usually you just get like a PO box or something, no? Right?
Totally comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay. I guess there's that other address, and then I also heard people mention that there was some of the shipping info relating to Florida as well. Was that a
Florida.
thing? Yeah.
There's nothing related to Florida.
I didn't see anything like receipt-wise in terms of indicating Florida, but I had people tell me that you were either sending or receiving stuff out of Florida. But
no, there's nothing to do with Florida whatsoever in my life.
Okay.
No. When I started my profile, I lived in one state. I moved one state away. It's all West Coast.
Okay.
It's not. It's not anything other than just moved in life. That's
okay.
what it is.
Cool. I guess one other thing I'd like to clear up with the I don't know if it's your vehicle or your wife's vehicle. But there was somebody that had mentioned that it might have been involved in some local bad doing.
No.
Okay.
What exactly? What is this now?
Talking about the Range Rover.
The Range Rover. Yeah, that's literally like a bit of information that someone heard.
Okay.
So what exactly was being said about that?
There was some words about it being involved in some local theft that may or may not have been Pokemon related.
But that's not a real thing.
Okay.
There's just no way. It's this is exactly what I'm talking about, and exactly why I jumped right off of that shit.
Yeah, well, this is why I'd like to talk to you about it, and I'm glad that I'm having the chance to. If there's anything that doesn't make sense, then I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, these things are they grow legs. That the vehicle that they're talking about hasn't. Yeah, it's irrelevant.
Okay.
It's irrelevant. It's not accurate. That vehicle has a non-op on it, so it's like
Okay.
cool, right? That's hearing that I have a Range Rover is a bit of information that someone took at some point.
Okay.
And
Do you have a Range Rover then?
Whatever. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay, but just the rest of it is made up.
Yeah, and if they're
Okay.
what is the rest of it?
Well, the rest of it just saying that vehicle has been involved in any other, I guess, illegal activity or theft.
So if that vehicle was involved with any other illegal activity or theft, don't you think that like the police would be involved at some point?
Yeah, of course.
It's not like a vehicle registered to me. This is just it's just outlandish, man.
Okay.
It's just outlandish.
So what was your relationship with Pocavita? So he from what he's saying right now, like he's saying that he's like disappointed that you would do that, and he's ashamed that he promoted your streams. So
yeah,
I'm just wondering like what that entails. Do you owe him anything, or is he just?
No, this dude is literally all of the people closest to that man reached out to me and told me to not interact with him. This will happen. That like people that he said he rocked with top to bottom reached out to me and told me, hey, don't deal with this. You're in his wheelhouse. You're stepping on his toes. You're taking his customers. It's gonna go bad for you. This dude hasn't done anything wrong to me. So why would I not rock with him? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I?
From anything I've heard, it's a bad idea to just to pay any attention to him. But
yeah, well, I didn't. It's like I'm not. Well, this dude didn't do me any wrong, right? So I would pop into his streams. He would shout me out from the rooftops. So I did the exact same thing. He would go into my stream. And then I have text messages. Bro, I wish these people would keep the same energy when they leave your stream. Then they come in my stream and don't buy anything. I can't get them to spend money. I don't know what you're doing. And slowly but surely, all of those people that told me, hey, stay away from this dude. This is what he's going to do to you. It was like these little seeds got planted everywhere. So it was, it literally went from, I'm a 5-star seller with no problems and flawless product and everything going great to I rocked with Pokevita for 3 weeks and my whole shit unfolded. Like everything just crumbled. This dude is like ultra toxic. He's probably the person saying whatever about local crimes or whatever bullshit.
I heard that from someone else.
It's funny because you say something about Florida, and like literally, he's the only person that I can think of that's in Florida. Like, I just don't. Yeah, it is what it is. Frankly, like I said, everything through Whatnot has been taken care of. Whatever opinions have been formulated and whatever mystery stories, I'm sure the police have a much better resource than whatever these Whatnot detectives do. If this local crime spree in my car had ever taken place, I'm sure they would have come and found me. These are very, very basic. This is very basic stuff, right? There's no so these people that buy Pokemon cards on the internet and an auction platform know about this crime spree that I don't, or that the cops don't, that nobody, you know what I mean? It's also wonky. It's just not a thing.
Yeah. So
it's just not a thing.
With Denver, was that that was post all of this stuff going down?
No, that's when this happened.
It happened on like while you were there.
While I was in Denver.
Okay. So were you there with like did Whatnot invite you to go, or were you just kind of there and?
Yeah, an employee from Whatnot is who reached out to me.
Okay.
To get me to Denver. But it's again, so you said you do what now? YouTube videos?
Yeah, I do YouTube videos. I had one recently with the pleasure of covering the ridiculousness that was Poca Vida, and him, like, he ended up getting banned from the platform because he was harassing people on there. Both
Yeah. No,
telling a girl she was a thought and that she should go take Xanax and drink, and then, like, threatening other people over the phone, like violence and whatever. And then he broke some. He was show bidding. He was doing basically everything that was possibly against terms of service. So it was kind of a matter of time. But
this is literally every single thing that I was warned about when I started dealing with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he was even like, I don't know if it happened to you, but he would show bid on somebody's auction. And well, he didn't tell the person until after the auction, apparently. So
and then ask you to buy it.
And then he would ask you to buy it, or he would buy something on your stream and then say, "Oh, I saved you. You can refund me now," or whatever.
Yeah. Not a chance.
Right.
Yes. No, that's very much Vita.
Yeah.
It's hindsight's 2020. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Hindsight is 2020. But yeah, I mean, for whatever it's worth, you make a video. I don't know what the accomplishment and the deal is. Like I said, I'm square on my end. I'm contractually had to take care of that. You can't just run up 10 grand at a company through whatnot and then do nothing, right? They're pretty prompt about it. But I have the emails where I initiated that immediately. Like, hey, this is crazy. I'm getting threatened left and right. I have streamers that you have blackmailing me. I have all this shit, and I want out. So whatever I need to do to wrap these things up and compensate however for the orders, those emails started on the 15th and worked all the way through resolution.
Yeah.
So, I'm not. This wasn't just light a fire and leave. I got pretty boned here. I actually went like real hard and always made sure that I was sending out a quality product. And I just always stayed on top of it. Like I said, it's we're talking the tail 5% of orders.
Yeah.
Where this happened.
The orders at the end, the ones that you didn't end up sending, or the ones that got canceled, did you end up you just made the labels for them and you didn't ship it?
Yes, you generate the labels after the shows.
Okay.
So
you just generated the labels.
You don't generate one label.
Mm-hmm.
You generate the entire show on whatnot.
Okay. Yeah.
So when it's done, like when you're done with the show, you generate it to print the labels to start packing and preparing your stuff.
Okay. So one more thing. We got the group of them that they seem to have discovered that you sold the same cards multiple times.
Yeah, no. I've never sold the same card. How?
There's one guy that got it was a first edition Rocket Zapdos. He says that he bought the same card from you twice. And then there's a couple other people that are claiming that they purchased the same cards as each other.
Yeah, I mean, I've sold a lot of the same cards.
Meaning like they didn't get shipped out, and then you did another stream and sold the same card.
Right, in that tail end, there's a good chance. That Rocket Zapdos is M Haynes 5050, the username.
Mm-hmm. I think at one point he had mentioned that he had purchased it twice.
Yeah, no. He said in a stream, "Is that mine?" I held his card up, and I reached over and opened his package and pulled the other one out on stream. Like, no, brother, that's not your card. This is your card. Like, had his name on the card saver fresh out of the package while the other card was still on the card stand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's this is a variety of weirdness, because I did always come with much higher quality and quantity. Mm-hmm. Other people can't understand it. I get it. It is what it is. There's no, it's just not a thing.
Okay. So this is probably, if I need to reach back out, I can give you a call.
Yeah,
I'm
assuming
you're like, if at any point, if it just comes down to it, and if you and any other party wants to actually discuss it, if there's a difference and you want to clear it up, we can maybe do that too. But
yeah, I mean, you can reach out. I don't have much of a want to really deal with any of this. I'm answering just solely out of a courtesy.
Okay.
I have my receipts.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like from a legality standpoint, I'd be fucked if these things were true.
Right.
Right. So you can't just burn all these people and whatnot. That's not a thing. Whatever mystery crimes are taking place in my car, I can't. That's not a thing.
Yeah, like the whatnot is probably like even if you didn't pay whatnot back, they'd probably have to pay all the customers back, and then they would kind of pursue action with you.
But even at that, my correspondence with whatnot is all there. You know what I mean? There's no I didn't dot or T I didn't cross. I understand there's a lot of people that felt like they got burned in the deal.
Is there somebody from whatnot that I can talk to that would be able to clear it out?
I mean, you can reach out. I don't
know if you have like a specific rep that would like have dealt with the whole thing.
You get a response from a different person every time.
Okay.
There's no like individualized, at least not in my experience.
Okay.
All I've done is deal with the trust and safety team.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
know if they had like a specific person assigned to you or to this incident.
No, it's literally like the thread is a response from Gabby and then Steven and then, you know,
it's like a different
like
person
literally whoever gets on shift is responding.
Okay.
To that next step. So they work it however they work it. Right.
Okay.
I can't imagine that they would discuss with someone else. You know what I mean? It's not like you talk to them on the phone anyways. It's written correspondence. You could attempt it if you wanted. It's the Whatnot Trust and Safety Department.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, this all is very cut and dry. It's been turned into something that it's not, and it's based off of those people who I feel got their feelings hurt in the deal. I get it. I'll also at a certain point when it goes like, it went from right away, I'm good with everybody into like random phone calls with threatening voicemails and text messages and my Whatnot inbox being flooded and my Instagram being nailed and like every little bit of everything with like threatening bullshit. It's a no-brainer to remove yourself from that equation. You know what I mean?
There's no way I could do that. It's like it seems like there's something at all times on that platform that's just.
Yeah, well, honestly, so I went from forever selling on regular platforms to like, oh, this video auction thing is cool. I got the app because someone advised me to find sneakers on there, and I just saw that there was a Pokemon subset. Mm-hmm. So I'm not even a big social media person at all. I've never have been. The whole dynamic of it was fairly strange, but I was perfectly happy booming out my Mercari packages and eBay stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was very simple. I've done this for a long time, and the platform was just cool. It seemed like a neat place to be. And slowly but surely, you see all of the like toxic aspects of it, and a scenario like this is the perfect example because, and, you know, if you think back to when you were in kindergarten or first grade and the teacher would play that game telephone with you, where the teacher whispers into one kid's ear and by the time it gets back, it's a completely different story. We're playing a game of telephone right now with how many thousands of people, right? So it's really easy for that to happen, but it's funny because the common denominator here is someone that I was warned about.
Yeah. And, speaking of people you were warned about, does the name Delta Raptor ring a bell?
Yeah. Delta is, so it's funny. Someone actually sent me a thing about Delta starting a Discord, just bashing all over me, or doing it in his, I don't know if he started a Discord or if it was a Discord that already existed or what. Again, don't really use that stuff. Delta,
did you know him from the platform? From Whatnot?
Yeah. So from Whatnot, I actually had just sent Delta a case of first print Evolving Skies, and I sent it to him for like $800. I don't know how familiar you are with pricing on like current Pokemon product. That's fucking phenomenal, right? $780, I think, is what I charged him. I did it through the platform, so I ate the fees on it. Got it to him in time for his birthday. I went into his birthday stream to go and support as well. Just go in and buy whatever and tell him keep it. You know, I had him send me an energy card or something. I don't, whatever, you know. Got in there and he started telling me, "I'm so sorry, Rick. I'm so sorry." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're so sorry." He's like, "All the people are going to be coming for you." I'm like, "No one's coming for me, Delta. What are you talking about?"
He was warning you about the Discord that he was going to make?
No. This is prior.
Okay.
The Discord is after this fiasco on the 15th. Okay. I think it was like a week, like dead nuts, I think, actually. October 8th or so. I mean, he had a birthday stream. Right, so I had sent this case out to him for dirt cheap. You know, I can get $1,500 on the street for this case. Excuse me. I get $1,500 on the street for this case. Between $900 and $1,200 with other people, like depending on my working relationship with them. Right. I send it to him for very cheap, on a just a homie level, right? And he got it, and he said, "I'm so sorry. We were in the stream tearing into this, and it was really sus." And I'm like, "What do you mean it was sus, dude? It's a factory sealed case of Evolving Skies." And he's like, "Well, it all had green code cards, so everyone said it was resealed and fake." And I'm like, "Well, if you look,
did it have hits
the tail end of it, yeah, if he's pulling alt arts out of these boxes, and if you Google all green code cards in Evolving Skies was the tail end of them using the white and green code cards before they switched to the vertical code card."
Yeah, I ran into the same thing. It was
yeah. So it's like it's a known thing, and it makes perfect sense, right? They're not going to print; they're going to burn out the tail end of everything they have, right? They have more green code cards than they have white code cards because of the way that the hit rates work. So he pulls alt art Rayquaza and all whatever. He's pulling hits out of these boxes. That's like, I wasn't in there for him to rip the case. But I told him, like, "Did you get hits?" He's like, "Well, yeah, I got these alt arts and I sold them." I'm like, so you bought a resealed case, but it had a bunch of hits in it, including like
the second
one
most
of the
expensive
highest end chase alt arts? And he's like, "Well, yeah, but it was sus." I'm like, what's sus? Like, what? He's like, "Well, the box, I don't know. It was just the green code cards. Like, "Oh, okay, cool. Well, don't worry, Delta. Whoever you tell or whoever that is that comes into my show, I will tell them politely to Google it. And if they don't like it, I'll hit the block button, right? Who cares? I'm not worried about these people. This is a factory sealed case with, yeah, you got all green code cards. I've got all green code cards. There's thousands of people on the internet that have also gotten all green code cards. They also got all of their hits in every box, just like you did. So that's, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But from there, that apparently that was like one of his talking points was my message thread with him about that box when he created that Discord after all of this shit happened. Mm-hmm. So it's like he tried to send me the money. I think he was sending it goods and services. I'm like, look, I'm going to get mailed with that. I'm giving this to you at a cheaper price. I'm going to refund this. We can renegotiate it, and you can pay higher, right, to account for the fees. It was just a friendly thing, so you had this box-free birthday. And he's very finicky to deal with. He's very frantic, I think, is the best way to describe him.
I get a little bit of, he's a little sporadic. He's a little all over the place. And then I think he's drunk a lot.
Yeah. I don't really know. I just had, it was a really interesting interaction, right? So I refunded him on PayPal, and I said, hey, I'm going to list this on Whatnot, right? I'm going to post this in a show for you. You can go in and just purchase it whenever right now. That way you have that safety and security there. You don't have to worry about this being a personal level transaction. I'll send it out to you. And like somehow he turned that case that he got all sorts out of into like a way to bash me. I don't really know. I just don't really know. I haven't entertained it. Right. So I have several people that have reached out to me like, hey, this is crazy. This is bullshit. This is like I have mad text messages that are very supportive. And then one of them was like, hey, this is fucking nonsense, but here's this thing if you want to go look. I don't want to go look because I don't care. Mm-hmm. Right? But the screenshot he sent me is like, I can see our message, or like one of our messages, where he's posted that in his Discord. It's like, all right, cool. Good for you. Like, what happened? You got a case for way too cheap from someone. I should have got more money somewhere else for it. And I don't know where these are the things I'm saying. I don't know. None of this has any legs. So I'm so
yeah, I think Delta was just saying that you didn't ship at all. I'm pretty sure from what I gathered.
Yeah, I mean, he has a whole stream that was him ripping the case. Mm-hmm. Like, not to mention plenty of orders that did get shipped to Delta.
Yeah.
So there's again the tail end of this. Like I said, I have receipts. I have my dashboard that says delivered. I have a dashboard that says what did ship. There's still like 4 random packages that I have on outbound, mm-hmm. That are wherever, right? And then there's all of the packages that didn't, and those have all reverted to canceled. So it's very very cut and dry. It's just very cut and dry. It's funny. There's one person that had the most shit to talk, and I'm like looking and trying to like sort through and make sense. I was really upset by all of this to begin with, right? So at this rate, I've let it go. I'm just moving on. I've done what I'm supposed to do on my side, so I'm not carrying that same like constant negativity about it. But I was very like Inspector Gadget about it, right? I wanted to get. I wanted to know exactly where and how and why this started and why it went the way that it did. And I started reaching out to people to see who said what, where, why, what, you know what I mean? And and then I just backed off of it. It was like it all pretty much pointed in the same direction. So I'm like, all right, cool. I was told don't do this. I was told this is going to happen, and this happened. So like the seeds of dissent were sown everywhere. But then one of the people who had like just that inside that last few days started buying from me came in and knocked down a bunch of big stuff. And his packages, but I was trickling stuff out, right? So I would run my stream and I would pack stuff up, and then I would pack up stuff from the furthest back and drop it. So I looked, and it was like his biggest purchase went out. And it's funny because it's like he had the most to say in the realm of negativity, but he had bought a first edition base set Shadowless Venusaur along with a bunch of other stuff. And that's one of the packages that went out and shows delivered. Mysteriously, there's no rating on that. There's a rating on the one before that that's just like bad mouthy, saying that I didn't ship it, but you can't rate an order until you receive it. So this had just like picked up that steam already, right? So I didn't ship you your stuff, but you were able to rate the order. That's interesting, right? You can't do that. You can't rate it. You can't rate an order on Whatnot until it's delivered. And then the next order was that was delivered to him was the one with that Blastoise, and inside that order, I typically I would try to write like a nice note. Generally, I in a small stream, I would try to write it to everybody. In a larger stream, I would tend to focus more on the bigger customers in the bunch. It's just very tedious, you know. And but I put a fossil pack in his order, like additionally, and wrote a note. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate all the support lately. See you in the next stream. And that package just got hung up somewhere in the postal service.
I forget who that was, but they were claiming that you was it a giveaway on Instagram or something?
No.
Or was that a separate thing? There was someone that was claiming that you did a fake giveaway on Instagram for a fossil pack that they had won, but they never received it. And someone else that was claiming that you were supposed to send them a Moonbreon, but didn't. I can't remember which person it was, but
this is a dude that I just barely had any amount of interaction with, right? Just started coming into the stream, and I just tossed this pack into his order where it was like, hey, appreciate you, you know. But it's funny because that package landed after the other package that landed that he was able to leave a comment saying that your package won't land somehow. But there was no review left for that one. Right. So it's like, then you receive it, and I don't know if you just have to think about it, and it's like, oh shit, or I don't know. I really don't know. Frankly, that's just why I removed myself from this equation. I'm not all of this, whatever this is.
Did you see what happened with the C-Money stuff?
With what?
So C-Money, I guess he's one of the ones that's complaining that.
Yeah, he's the one that it was him and PokeVita that started all that.
Yeah, they did the stream.
Yeah.
So he made the stream, and I guess like Vita kind of like pushed his way on, or he's claiming that like people were telling him to go on, and then he was losing it because he was banned. So he was mad at me, and he was mad at the people that he was harassing that spoke out about him harassing them because he was banned. So then C-Money got a suspension because he had somebody on a stream that was permanently banned from the platform, which you would think would be common sense, but between the two of them, like either Vita probably just didn't care because he's pretty selfish, and he was just like, okay, well, I can get on here and scream at people.
It's so funny because like literally, I was in Denver. This is Saturday, October 15th at 8:49 p.m. Vita writes me, hey, you want me to make this stream stop? ? He said, I can have that stream ended right now, all caps. And I had just got another message from someone else that was like, hey, what the fuck is this? This dude's bashing me. This is nonsense, right? I always get my stuff. What the fuck is this about? So I knew what was going on with the stream. This is after C Money had let me know that if I send him the 10 grand that he needs to pay back this drug dealer, so it's blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking, no. I told you I will send you your money the second it lets me send it. Right? $1,900. The second it lets me go through, it will go through. And he's like, well, if you don't, I'm running this stream. That's the stream that Vita got into. Yeah. Vita was in that stream writing me this text message. So I wasn't in the stream. I didn't see what was going on. I just wrote him. I'm like, yeah, bro, what the fuck? WTF. Yeah, bro. ... WTF. He said, it costs money, but I can do it if you want. Say the word and send me $1,000 and it's done. These mods at Whatnot are shitty, I know. Got to pay to play. You know how it is. Either way, don't matter to me. Just let me know, bro. I wrote him. I can't transfer anything on PayPal at all right now. If I could, I would have just sent that douche the $1,900 I was gonna. I do mad volume weekly on PayPal, so I get frozen on transfers all the time. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. He said, shake my head. No other way you want to try and send it? He's trashing you bad in here. That it's all in PayPal and cash in my pocket. That's all I can do, bro. I'm a cash person. And he wrote, dude. So that was it. So he was already banned, trying to squeeze me for cash to get these mystery mods that he's already banned from the platform to kill this stream that he was in talking shit about me because he knew I wasn't in there. Like that's that's what I was up against.
Yeah, I don't know. Like apparently there was somebody else too that he was like bragging about how he got them banned, and then he was upset when he got banned himself.
Like, literally, I'm sorry, what was your name again?
It's Mike. Mike, Rattle Pokemon.
Mike. So, Mike, it's literally, I have written words from so many people telling me, hey, this dude is going to try to ruin you. Mm-hmm. And, like, sure enough, everything he could possibly do, he did to ruin me. Mm-hmm. This was like the same day that, like I just randomly, it was his son's birthday or something. I sent him like $150 or $250 on PayPal. I just told him like, hey, get something for little man for his birthday. Like this is the dude. I just started to develop a friendship with him on this online platform, right? Mm-hmm. That's where this all started at. But in like, looking back on messages, you can see the descent in all of it, where it's like everything is, hey, I'm so proud of you. I wish I could get those people back on board with me. Hey, you're crushing. I can't believe it. You're doing so good. Why can't I get these people to spend this money with me? So the person that benefits from like riling this whole thing up is him, right? So if he can get these people to turn on me, he can get them in his stream. But he just so happened to get banned at the same time, which from my understanding and the information that I got leading up to that, and then for the few days thereafter, he deserved it. What he did to all these people was fucking terrible. So it's like,
he goes on that like he kind of like forces them into like doing bad things, whether it's like shilling their stuff, and then he's like, oh, I made you, so you got to do whatever I say now, or you cross the line.
Yes and no. I think it's weird because he does it all from such a he's your friend, right? Like that's the way he comes at you, is like, I had your back, or I have your back. Like, well, there's no back to have, dude. Like, yeah, we all do this, right? They're like, we're all very individual.
Well, yeah, he likes to say like, if you need anything, you just reach out to me. But like, what is he going to provide? Nothing.
No.
And then he'll send you some flame emojis, and like give you like some virtual.
Way too many of them for whatever reason.
But
it's a very weird dynamic, and it's something that got developed. It's a system he has.
Yeah.
And it finally ran its course. I feel like I was, I feel like I was caught in his crosshairs right at the end. I'm not going to blame this all solely on Vita, right?
Yeah,
I had
he's
issues
in
on
the
my end.
Discord, and I read through the entirety of that Discord, and the majority of the time that he's in there, he's just promoting his own stuff. He didn't really contribute
Right.
anything other than saying that he was like ashamed that he promoted you or whatever.
Right. Which is like, you're ashamed that you promoted the person, but you're the one getting banned. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
But it's not his fault, though.
Yeah, how convenient. How convenient that his life's not his fault.
Mm-hmm.
I was just literally in the middle of saying I had a couple of things go wrong on my end. Nothing that I didn't actively work to fix immediately. Right. Shy of these orders going out at the end, which is literally like documented top to bottom. Hey, I'm not sending these orders. Cancel this shit. Cut this shit. Don't care whose feelings get hurt. I'm taking full responsibility here. What do we have to do? And like pounding it into whatnot to get the resolution I was after, because I was not comfortable sending these things out anymore. I was not comfortable having anything to do with any of it. But I like I said, every one of those things I actively worked to fix, and these are few and far between, until I got hung out to dry in a weird blackmail-y double time fashion. So I went from one dude that is $1,900 to, if I give him 10 grand, he won't run the smear stream, and Vita's co-hosting the smear stream, and if I send him $1,000, he'll get it to stop, but he's bashing me in the stream. Mm-hmm. And it was like this whole parallel universe of shit.
With that stream, they made it sound like Vita didn't plan on being on there, and when he did get on there, he was more like made it not necessarily about you, but more about the people that he felt were responsible for him getting banned.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds convenient that it wasn't planned, but like when I'm looking at the time frame of me getting the text message that this is happening, and when Vita is like legit trying to blackmail me in text, it all lines up to like they knew he was going to be in there, right? So this is a very calculated. It's calculated by dummies, I guess. I think that they think if they're making enough noise that there's not another side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's never been my approach. I'm not going to talk over you. I don't have to. I do keep receipts.
Yeah.
I do take care of my stuff. I do. I'm not I have every receipt for every package I've ever sent from the Postal Service in email and paper form. I have every text message I've ever received. I have every, you know what I mean? I'm not a person that gets rid of stuff, so I don't have to yell. I don't have to get loud. I don't have to change subjects. I don't have to bash someone else. I just don't have to. It's not that's not how conversations work, and that you can't change facts by getting obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
So it's simple stuff. Simple stuff.
I guess it also, like, for what it matters, I was invited to the said Discord, and they kicked me from it. So in terms of I guess my opinions on Vita were enough to justify the fact that they did not want me to assist with looking into any of it. So for what that matters,
it's like well, right now he's busy being all of their friends, right? So he's gonna teach them the game, and he's got the plug on more graded cards than you can imagine.
Yeah, I've heard
He's
him
got
say
all
that
the
a few
raw
times.
stuff on lock, and he has the same bullshit spiel. It's like he just recites these things to every person. I mean, like I started pulling away a little bit because the stuff that these people were telling me was adding up like verbatim. You know what I mean? Like word for
Yeah, it
word.
just plays out over and over again.
The things that people told me to look out for were happening.
Mm-hmm.
So it's word for word. I'm like, oh shit, maybe there's something to this, right? Maybe I'll just back up a little bit. And if I started to back off a little bit, I was in one stream, and there's a streamer that I got in there, and I like quick shouted him out, like, hey, this guy, you know, he's one of the only people I've ever done a trust bid with. You guys check him out. And so as I said that, I got a text message that came through on the phone that I was streaming on. And it's, hey, are you cool with him? I'm like, well, I mean, I just said, hey, guys, check him out. I don't know, for whatever that's worth. I spent my money blind with him, and I was very satisfied with what I received. Right? So I wrote him back. I'm like, hey, exactly what I just said. Like, dude, I'm just saying, I went in his stream twice. I've done trust twice, and he has absolutely taken care of me. So, of course, I'm pointing my people in his direction. He's like, oh, well, that guy, he's a snake. I'm like, he's a snake? Why is he a snake? Like, what did he do? Like, where, trust me, bro, trust me. So there was no fact to present that he was a snake. But the second that dude was in my stream, it was like, you got to get him out of there. He's a snake. He's a snake. I'm like, I'm not going to ban this guy. Like, I'm not.
That was one of the ways that he broke TOS, because he was banning people without them even doing anything, just because they had associated with other people at one point.
Yeah, well, and I think I want to say I gave the guy a mod controller. His name's like Austin B94, Austin 94B or something. Austin something, right?
Yeah.
Like I
so
said,
he was one of the guys that got that was harassed by Vita, and that
yeah. So literally nothing but good experience in his stream. And when he came in, I would typically, like, if you came in and you were a streamer, I would hit you with the mod controller just to let people know to check you out, right? It was a safe bet. Hey, if they have a mod controller, go check them out. These are people I buy stuff from. You should go buy stuff from them too, right? I was a real shout-outy kind of guy. Hey, go check them out. Go show them love, whatever. But it was so weird because after that text interaction, it went to, okay, bro, I gotta go. So you're my buddy, you're my bro, you're whatever. You got my back. You're in there modding, and like actually modding, right? Not just having the controller while being in the stream. But now this person's in there, so you got to go on like a very childish level. And there was no fact to corroborate why this guy was a snake. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that I didn't really stand for, and I think probably half of why I got so salty about all this stuff when it happened is if you ever came into my stream and said that someone was a scammer or burnt whatever, like we immediately pumped the brakes. Right? Like, first off, those are really strong accusations. So did this happen to you personally, or are you saying this based off of something you heard, or what? Like, where did that, we would pause everything. Like, let's get to the root of this. Oh, well, so-and-so told me. Like, okay, well, then don't repeat it here, or you're out. Because if so-and-so told you that's not something that happened to you, we don't promote that in my stream, I can get in trouble for it. Right? Like, when we sign up for whatnot, we have to sign a thing that says we don't do shit like that. And I don't operate like that in real life either. So I'm not, in the real world, I'm not a gossipy person. You can't come and tell me what someone said. I don't want to hear what you heard from a guy that heard from a guy. If it was something that happened to you in real life, by all means, let me know. I'm not a person that feeds on gossip. So I grew up in a rough area where that could get people in serious trouble. So you just learn to stay away from that and don't put yourself in that position, you know? And it's really, it was so weird when it happened to me. It was like so many of these things drew legs. Like I said, there was I think like I can't even get beyond this mystery crime spree in the Range Rover.
Yeah.
Like you saying that to me is a complete mind-blowing thing for me. That's that level of like people will do or say anything. There's zero validity to that. So I'm aside from the fact that like I know the whole police force from my old work, like I know the whole police force where I lived prior, like, and part of the police force where I live currently, like there's no universe where I don't get wrapped up for that. I'm 6'9". I'm like 300 pounds. I stand out in the crowd, right?
Mm.
My car, when I was driving it, stood out in a crowd. There's no, you don't get away with stuff like that, whatever that is. I'm like bad at hide and seek. You know what I mean? There's no, you're not out committing crimes. It just is what it is. But yeah, I don't, there's a pattern. There's for sure a pattern. So you make YouTube videos,
Mm-hmm.
and we're offering in the Discord to corroborate and or investigate what these people are saying, and then you got kicked.
Yeah, I had somebody that showed me what was going on. And this was kind of right in at the same time that I made a couple videos on Vita. I usually don't make a video on somebody that's just harassing people and gets banned from something, or I guess he wasn't banned at the time, but it was to the extent that like it was a just stay away from this person kind of warning video. And clearly that was good advice, but yeah, I had someone invite me and to that Discord, and I was removed. We had Mr. Raptor was, I guess, very upset that I was saying mean things about Vita, but I showed all the receipts. I showed all where he's harassing people in DMs, where he's leaving false feedback, etc., and that's kind of what it came down to. So I'm kind of
they're removing their bit. They'll remove their biggest assist in this whole mystery.
Exactly. That seems a little bit suspicious
to me. On behalf of Vita, and this guy is like weird puppet master. Funniest part about Vita and Delta, there was no interaction between those two. I had a text message from Vita in like, I think like October 10th or 12th or something, asking me to send Delta and Anderson and like a few of these people that were constantly in my stream, asking me to push them to his stream by name because they were in my stream and active.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no, I mean, what is today's like November 3rd or 2nd, 3rd? There's no history between Vita and Delta prior to 2.5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But Vita gets in on that I'm your best friend level so fast. It's like he's constantly putting in defensive footwork.
Yeah.
So he's always trying
that's
to
the
get
thing
ahead
too.
of.
Like the Discord also became like a tool for Vita and his wife to false flag my videos. They were encouraging people to do that. So
yeah, that's convenient.
Uh-huh.
I understand. I'm gonna go watch the video.
Yeah, the first one actually got pulled down by YouTube because if people actually false flag it enough, like the people that are in charge of watching an hour-long video probably aren't watching the video to find out if it's actually
they'll
against
just pull
TOS.
it.
It was
Right.
the video was fine. There was nothing that was against rules or anything like that. But yeah.
Well,
First
no,
one's the first one's
I
down,
don't.
but the second one's still on there.
Yeah, I'll go check it out for what it's worth. I could see where I don't know. I'm in a unique. I have a unique perspective on it all myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm not super stoked about what's being said about me anywhere, at any rate. Right. I am a pretty private person. I'm not like a. There's a reason I don't just have like a regular Facebook page or whatever. I really like mind my own business and just go through my life. I have a family. I'm a regular person. I don't. I just don't know. I feel like it's probably easier to just present a factual side of things than it is to go through the nonsense of like trying to recruit a small army to false flag a thing that's like, I don't know. It's not even like it sounds like you were just saying what he is. So it's not even like a character assassination. I feel like I'm dealing with some sort of like character assassination. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I accept responsibility on a couple small parts, right? There were some things that went wrong. Nothing that I didn't actively get after to fix. The whatnot stuff is viewed as these things that went wrong. Those people don't have a leg to stand on. They've been refunded. It shows in my account the same way it shows in whatnot's account, the same way it shows. You know what I mean? They're not just left out, right? Yeah. At any point that there was all of this, any point there was all of this being thrown around, and there would be some sort of legal action, right? There's no legal action. There's no legal action from whatnot. There's no legal action from the police department for my mystery crime spree. There's no legal. There's nothing. There's a balance of $1,900 hanging with sea money. And like I said, he just completely wrecked all over me in a matter of like, hey, give me till like midnight. Typically, that's when PayPal loosens me up. That's where this came from, and it turned into, well, fine, send me $10,000, and I was like, okay, cool, go fuck yourself. I'm not sending you $10,000. What do you mean? Like, no. What do you mean? Then I'm getting blackmailed by Vita, who clearly didn't have a leg to stand on. So then I'm getting trashed in these Discords. So then now I'm getting calls from YouTubers, and I'm like, it's all been a whirlwind, you know. Mm-hmm. I literally pumped out 1.9 thousand orders, 5 stars. Not a complaint. I had one negative review prior to all of this, and the negative reviews that you can find on my profile and whatnot currently say that I don't ship you stuff and I'm a scammer, but you had to get shipped stuff to put a review. The one negative review that I had was that I gave the guy so much stuff he had to pay $6 out of his pocket for shipping, and it was inconvenient. And that was a 4.5 star review that was left for me. All the way up until this stuff happened.
Yeah. Can I run a few names by you?
Yeah.
Have you had any interactions with the Zard exchange?
Yes.
Okay. Were they good, bad?
Zard exchange, I used to buy a bunch of stuff from, and then they didn't buy a bunch of stuff from me. They would come in and enter giveaways, and never purchased anything. They purchased one item for me. It was a $50 item. It kind of bummed me out. It was just like, I bought a bunch of stuff from them, and their stuff all kind of sucked. But I did it just on like a support level. They were just getting started, and I just enjoyed them.
Okay.
And and then there was that one purchase that they had from me, and after that, nothing. They would pop into my streams from time to time, but never purchased anything from me. I never purchased anything from them thereafter.
Okay. Next up, Addo11. That's a person. I guess there's like a Charizard or something.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's one of the packages that boomed out. He cash apped me. I cash apped him back.
Okay.
He sent a request on Cash App. He sent a request on Cash App that said, "Hey, please send me that money back." Actually followed by a text message that said, "Hey, that didn't get out in time. It was for my son's birthday. Will you please just send me the money back?" He sent me the request on Cash App. I Cash Apped him back.
Okay. Cool. Who else we get? We covered the M. Haynes, I think, to an extent.
Yeah, M. Haynes said the thing about the Zapdos. M. Haynes is a bunch of the orders that got canceled, refunded as well. That was just all in that time frame.
Okay. That was all through Whatnot?
That was through everything through Whatnot.
Okay. Was there anything with Mr. Anderson 247?
No. The only thing with Mr. Anderson, so I actually still have I still have his box. So that's like the one label that hasn't been canceled. Mr. Anderson just genuinely hurt my feelings. That was like my homie, I thought. I've opened the box and put like 3 different handwritten notes into it. His orders, he canceled his orders. He canceled his orders like immediately there after that stream. But there's a box that like I'm still sending. This is over stuff where he hit me up outside of stream, like, "Hey, can you get that graded for me? I'll cash app you." Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. Hey, I don't have it right now. Can I hit you next week? Yeah, no worries. And I still have a box I'm going to send him. It was just like literally trying to find the words to put on paper because I haven't responded to him. But yeah, I will be sending that out. That's just a matter of like, I just want to.
The cards got graded. They were supposed to be graded or something.
So there were cards that were going to be graded. He canceled the orders.
Okay.
The cards are off for grading. They'll be mine when they get here. It's not like like they didn't go off for grading, but he canceled the orders.
Okay.
So I mean, he's paid for the grading.
Mm-hmm.
So he paid for the grading through Cash App because he didn't have the money to spend on Whatnot, but canceled the physical card purchases on Whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So you canceled the purchase, which when you cancel, that takes the money back from me. And then, so I'm out the money for the cards, but they've been sent off to grade.
Cool. So there was a fossil pack that was supposed to go to Howlin', isn't it?
Yeah, Howlin' Howie. That's literally like, she and I both have that tracking information. I have a huge package I purchased from him that has a lost package search on it with the red tracking number. My package went out to him at the exact same time, has the same lost package tracking information. And outside of that, like completely separate from that, PayPal'd him the total balance. I'm the only one out any money with Howlin'.
Okay.
And these, again, things that have receipts, right? PayPal has a receipt. There's no mystery to this. It's convenient to jump on and bash someone, but Howlin's 1,000,000% square.
Cool. Lispinator?
I have no idea who that is.
It could be that he goes under a different name or something. He said that he opened a case with Whatnot.
Yeah. So anything, there's like Whatnot, I'm assuming automatically close those cases when all of those orders went into cancellation to the trust and safety department. So anyone that said they opened a case with Whatnot, their case with Whatnot has been closed. There's no mystery. So, like, I've literally already had to pay for that stuff, and those orders are canceled. The second they cancel those orders, that comes out of my account. So, like, there's nothing to it. Right? There's never a moment where I saw a cancellation come through and I didn't immediately accept it. There was a time frame where these people were putting in cancellations that was literally like the night of that stream, the following day, I was in Denver. I got home and went through and accepted everything. That was while still waiting for the resolution to Whatnot. Right? So while waiting on all the other stuff, I didn't message these people individually. I'm getting bashed in messages from probably 60% of them in that time frame. I'm not going to get into this argument contest with these people. Your money's coming back. Game over. Right? I don't need to engage in the nastiness that was going on. My inbox is like disgusting. Right? The way that these people flip like a light switch, from nice as could be to like hateful, threatening, we know where you live, your family, just the wildest bullshit immediately was crazy. So I wasn't writing all of these people back into it. I accepted every single cancellation request the moment it came through and continued to work with Whatnot on the remainder of resolving everything to clear my end of it and be able to exit.
Right. I think the last one that I have here is Big Hits TCG.
Yeah, Big Hits. So Big Hits, I literally just cash apped Big Hits 2, 3, 4 days ago.
Okay.
Got sick, have the remainder of it about to go out to him. You can reach out to him. I've literally been in correspondence with the guy.
Okay. He hasn't. I guess he hasn't updated it on the Discord.
Yeah.
But
no, I mean I have a text message from him from just a few days ago.
Okay.
I actually just tested positive for COVID like 5-6 days ago. My whole house kind of went through it. We've taken turns on who was actually symptomatic and sick. It's been a revolving door of like blah. So cash apped him a large chunk and let him know, hey, give me a second just to get up. I just had to pay out all of this other money for these orders being canceled. Like I just am waiting on money coming in from other avenues as well, and I will cash app you immediately. We're good. Like we're in good standing.
okay.
There's no. Yeah, you can reach out to him. You can reach out to any of these people.
Yeah, if
That's the
they
beauty
want
of
to
it.
if they want to
Like
talk to me, they have every avenue. I will take the time to speak with them, just like I took the time to speak to you. And if we can get everything fixed and over with, I think that's for the best. And then if people,
Yeah, I mean the convenient part of it is like the stuff with like Hal and it's PayPal. It's PayPal with a message, right? Like stating, hey, this is this. Here's every little bit. Crazy. I didn't get my stuff from you either. We went through this at the same time. Very interesting. That's how you approach it, but all good. And like LOL to him at one point for typing in all caps with like too many emojis. Like, what do you do? Like, why are you text yelling? It's a weird approach to go from zero correspondence to this. Right.
Yeah.
But these things are squared. So there's just no leg to stand on to any of it. I'm really like left more curious than anything about my local theft. Like,
yeah, I'll have to dig into that and where it came from a little bit more.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I'd love to hear it. And just out of curiosity, I mean, I know it's like there's no whatever, but you mentioned the Zard exchange. I had never had anything other than a good experience and been like overly supportive of those people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really interesting that they hop on that bandwagon, but not surprising.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
So,
exactly how much of that was just like them hearing what everyone else was saying, if they're all jumping in on it. 'Cause if anything, I think that they're probably the most neutral, I guess,
okay, cool.
party kind of thing.
I think that's more like my curiosity. It's just it seemed like they got a little bit bitter because I started doing well pretty quick, and like they went from doing well to like tapering off into weird games and selling all kinds of different stuff, and like anything to just kind of straggle on. And I kind of felt that shift in tone and environment where we were like ultra friendly and like supportive of each other. I started to pick up steam, and they really kind of got hatery. So I was just kind of curious as to where their name even came into play. The only thing I have with Zard Exchange is I spent way too much money on garbage with them to be nice. So I'm glad to hear that they're more neutral party in it.
Yeah, I think they were more looking into like all the claims that everyone was making, and if it's, I mean,
right, validity behind it.
Yeah, because there's definitely two sides here, and
yeah,
that's the thing.
Well, there's not two sides. That's the whole thing. That's the hard part with it, is there's like 1,900 sides.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I said, there's that telephone game. There's one person that's left dangling. I just feel like he was coerced into doing what he did. Like I said, I'm in no hurry. See money.
Do you think he was coerced into? I mean, he was kind of coerced into letting Vita on his stream and getting a suspension, from what I saw.
I think he was coerced into making that stream.
Yeah, maybe.
Is my personal opinion. It just didn't strike me as
something that he would do on his own.
Like a move that he would make, and that's why I was kind of off foot by it.
Yeah, I mean,
right, there was never a moment like I said, this was a $4,000 purchase he was making with me that he had sent me $2,400 of. Like the very next day, he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm tight." I'm like, "Yo, well, here, I'll boom you back a few bucks." And he said, "Yeah, if you could shoot me 100, that would be great." I shot him 250. A couple days later, he's like, "I'm still really tight. I'm just getting the rest of this figured out before, we can work this all out." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem, man." He said, "If you could shoot me like another $100, no problem, 250. So there's 500 back out of 2,400 inside of just that couple days, just on like, of course, dude, life happens, right? So do what you got to do, get your stuff situated, run your stream, get your money up, whatever, however, give me the rest. I'm not worried about it. We're in like a mutual working relationship, right? Same deal. He would come in the stream, shout him out. I would go in the stream, shout me out. It was just like a cool whatever. But at the same time,
the C Money thing too. Where he got suspended, he then wasn't making money, and now he does. Now he has like the 30-day wait or whatever to get the money out. So if it was any talking to him post his suspension, then that could have also played a part in if he wanted the money more than.
No, this was all prior to my last interaction with him was October 15th. That's that day. That's the day that he ran that stream. I was in Denver. I told him but I'm literally trying to press this button. PayPal is telling me they're putting a 72-hour hold. They do it to me all the time. I don't know why. Maybe it's that this PayPal I have set up with my business is more recent, and the volume that goes in and out of it. I'm not sure what the rhyme or reason. I would try to cash out. They would tell me no. I would try to send money. They would tell me no. People would send me money. They put a hold on it. I just got dicked around by PayPal a lot. Typically, inside of a day, if I'm getting that weird hold in a day where there had already been traction in that PayPal account, midnight would roll around, and then I could send something or I could receive something, right? I'm like, the day reset for the computer, however that works. So I told him, hey, man, give me till midnight, right? I need midnight Pacific Standard Time. That's the time frame that it operates on. I'm on Mountain Time in Denver, but I'm sure it's just still regular old Pacific Time. And it was, yeah, of course. And then through the day, slowly but surely, it progressed into this nightmare of, you need to send me all of this money. You don't understand. These people, they're going to cut, like, bro, look, I'm telling you. Like, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm still going to send you this money. I'm going to boom you these cards, right? So you can go ahead and try to get back up on your game. You can't be just buying shit and giving it away, though, if you need money. Like, it's funny because a bunch of the text messages I have are like, why is that dude always buying stuff and giving it away if he's so tied up for money? I don't know. I don't know the rhyme or reason, right? But literally was just nothing but cool. And like through the day, watch the progression in these messages into like, no, you're going to send me all of this money right now, or I'm running this thing. I'm going to tell everyone. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he jumped into the stream, and immediately Vita popped up talking about how I wronged him or whatever. Like, meanwhile, I'm literally buying out $50 supports in Vita's stream, cash out or PayPaling him money to buy his kid birthday present. But I did him wrong somehow. I did him wrong because people didn't want to buy shit from him anymore. They wanted to go buy it from me. Right? There's very few people on Whatnot that are doing like what I was doing. Vita was kind of doing what I was doing, but like more, it's like a scammy carnival version of it where you had to like prepay him and then he would let you pick I don't know. Yeah, like a voucher system.
I brought that up in my video. I can't remember if it was in the first video or second video, but like how in the world you have to worry about people like resealing packs and weighing packs and stuff like that, but then at the same time, like, you're gonna let somebody go buy a collection, let somebody prepay for a collection that they bought, which they could just assemble themselves out of shit that they don't want. Or they could take the good stuff out of the collection beforehand or whatever. Like,
he tried to get me to buy the vouchers.
Yeah.
And like I would always only buy cards, right? Mm-hmm. Like if he was running cards in an auction, I would buy cards in an auction. Or I would just go in and press the support button. There's a $50 support. I'd go and buy 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Whatever. He would shout me out. Cool. But he would try to get me to buy those vouchers, and it felt weird. It was like, so I'm going to give you money now for cards you don't have, mm-hmm. to give you the leverage to go buy cards, which you're then going to pluck all the good stuff out of, in my brain, right? Then you're going to pluck all the good stuff out of there.
Well, yeah, there's no
tell me these are my choices. It was just a weird feeling, but he did develop a market for, nicer quality vintage cards. Mm-hmm. However, he was selling them, right? However many water balloons you have to throw at the board to get them. That's what his end product was. It seemed like he always had those sitting up on the back stand, not really moving them the same. The stuff that was offered to the people with vouchers always looked a little wonky. But I stayed away from the vouchers, but our clientele was the same, mm-hmm. right?
Well, so, if he was showing other people's stuff without like advising them that he was going to do it beforehand, he was doing it to his own stuff. Like he had to be.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, he was the first person to tell you.
You can't just put can't put the card back. Yeah. If it's a graded card, you can't just put that same card in the next listing.
Right. There's no. You can't. You just can't do that. It was all just kind of wonky. it just felt really, I don't know. I just watched this stuff unravel, you know. The common denominator here is that I had one guy who was kind of in the market similar to what I'm in, what I've always been in, as far as like I've been selling cards for 12 years. I've been at it for a long time. I've only sold the same kind of stuff. I get my hands on some modern field stuff, so I'll sell that. I don't really do too much modern in the realm of some individual cards, right? Bigger ticket cards, sure. Some alternate art stuff or whatever, you know, whatever the big chase cards are, I'll buy, you know, buy as singles, sell for profit. I still rip a lot of modern Pokemon product because I'm like a kid at heart with it, right? It's a hobby of mine. So the big cards, of course, I sell. The little cards go to local shops. Then whatever, you know, my kids' friends, you know, I've got a young daughter who she'll hook her friends up. They play a half-assed version of the Pokemon card game. They're, you know, it's just what it is. I don't really, I'm vintage cards. That's where my heart's at, is vintage. You know, and really like, up until like 2012, probably is like the sweet spot for me. And I was direct competition for that guy. So it was just funny to watch it all unravel, and like the text messages progressively got more and more passive about how you can't get the people to spend the money. They go on my stream first and spend all their money, then they go to his stream, they won't spend a damn dollar, yada, yada, yada. And then everywhere this dude went was a small fire lit about me. So, and it's like he backtracked his own footsteps out of my stream. So all of the people that he started associating with were people that were in my stream. So it's like
well, that's like a constant theme with him, is just like it's all about like, it's always competition. Like the people that were complaining about his like harassment, that was just because they were jealous and they couldn't compete with him. It was like,
right. But
do you think like the whole platform has how many users, and like you have 13,000 followers or whatever he had when he was banned? Like, you think that really impacts the rest of the platform?
That's what I said. I just hit like 3K followers.
Yeah.
That's like 3K quality followers, right? Is the difference. And I'm not selling you a fucking coupon. I'm selling you a card today. I'm not selling you the chance to have a card someday if I get them.
If I buy a
collection. So that was.
Yeah. I'll leave you with one more thing. With Veda also, there's someone else that reached out to me. Apparently, they sent him a large collection, and he was supposed to sell it for them and pay them out on it, like 60-40 or something, and he didn't.
Yeah,
he sold all the cards and doesn't have the money to pay them, and now he's blaming that on the fact that he's not on Whatnot anymore, even though he was already paid out on all those cards. So
cool. Send the cards then.
Yeah. Well, no, the cards are gone. The money was received and was probably spent on something else. So.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've never had a card that wasn't mine. Right. I've never taken a collection to sell for somebody. I've never touched anything like that. I buy cards and sell cards. I rip cards and sell cards. That dude's a whole other train wreck, and I feel like if I never associated with him, I probably wouldn't be in the store right now. Yeah. Frankly. But it is what it is. You live and learn.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's all of these like side transactions and like stuff that goes on that just like, that is kind of it's like the detriment to everything. It just, people lend money to people, or people send cards to people and expect them to like pay them back, and it just doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, but like the thing with that is, so I'm a prime example of that. Like I said, I had a few interactions go wrong. You can also actively work to make those right. Right. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. There's a million ways to send money. There's, even if it takes a little longer than someone would like, you can get that right. You can't say that, well, I don't know what to tell you. I sold your stuff and you don't get your money. There's got to be one or the other. It's not like I'm coming from some super sweet spot right now. I had 100+ orders I didn't send out. But I also worked with the company to ensure that all those people were refunded while not sending those orders out. Right? And there's no other party that's affected because I didn't take someone's collection to do that. That was my inventory to begin with. That, yeah, it is what it is. That dude's pretty toxic. Like I said, I don't feel like I'd be in this the same scenario here if I had never interacted with that guy. But it is what it is. There are things that are my fault inside of it, for a fact. Those things that are my fault, I've worked proactively to fix. The things that are misinterpreted based off of a lack of communication after this whole shit show, I can understand where people are coming from to an extent, but also to pretend like they're not refunded. And like I watch as each one of those gets processed backwards, right? Because the money comes out of my account. So like I see actively as they go. So I don't think Whatnot has the magic button to just press and boom, it's all done. So it's like a working shift.
Yeah,
and
it
I'll
seems
watch,
like it's a gradual thing that.
Yeah, I watched 25 interactions get reversed. And then the following day I watched 30 interactions and then nothing, and then nothing. And then the next day I watched 20 get reversed. So I think there's also like wires they have to untangle as a result of it. But there's no one out on that Whatnot platform. So, like I said, that's the one thing that where these people may not have the understanding of how it all works. They do have an understanding that they're not out. And it seems to me like the trend is that
well, there's a huge difference too if you're like running off with all that money and then you're like hoping that like Whatnot doesn't bother or it's not worth their time to like come and chase you down to take the money back. But if you're cooperating with Whatnot to return the money, then sure. That's like a
Whatnot makes their stance very clear. Like even when you sign up, they had a huge blowout at one point. I don't know, some guy to the tune of like 6 figures, and they're like, "Hey, at the first sign of this shit, we press charges." So just be aware, right? There's no mystery. There's just no. It's all really cut and dry. The thing that's not is the lack of communication. The people that had those orders out received is probably where a lot of this shit got stirred up, versus the people out there with no better time on their hands but to like create whatever level of rumor they possibly can from an online platform to like these people don't even know what city I live in, but they know that in that city, in that car, I'm so far removed from that it's so funny to hear. It's just funny. It's legitimately funny to hear the rumors that get stirred up. But that does come from, I think, that lack of communication plus like the randomly inserted internet troll here and there. Like whoever said whatever about Florida. What the fuck is in Florida? I've never done anything in Florida ever. Florida is a humid state that has political ideals I don't like. I'm not doing anything in Florida. It's not for me, right? But that's where this stuff all kind of grows its own legs. It picks up wind and it twirls into whatever it twirls into because there's all of these different people. So that telephone game gets spun out of control, and then we end up here.
Was there like a running total on Whatnot from all the not shipped stuff?
I think when it's all said and done, because they're not finished processing them yet, there's I think there's like 18 orders left or something. I think when it's all said and done, it's like $9,100.
Really? I thought it was more than that. But.
Yeah. No, that's what it gets made to sound like.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it's made to sound like. But realistically, the majority of my invoices are like $22, $31, $38. Right. So there was a couple of larger invoices. There was one that was like 30 something. But it's funny because that's one of the orders that it wouldn't allow him to cancel because it was in transit. It landed. That was the order with the first ed base shadowless Blastoise. So that was that package that I tossed that extra fossil pack into. That was a large swath of it. There was one large order for like $4,000, one large order for like $2,000, and then just a bunch of small shit. So then it's a bunch of $12, $6, $18. You know what I mean? I would sell. So typically I'd run through between 30 and 50 cards, and everything leading up to like the last 5 was single to double digit price point. So there's no way to even run this up. That's the caliber of things that I've heard come back. I'm like, I've questioned the people immediately, like, bro, you were in those streams. Does that even make sense to you?
Yeah.
Like, no, it doesn't.
I was hearing like 100,000 or something, and then I'm looking at the totals even within the Discord, and they were like, I was like, okay, like maybe if this isn't everyone, maybe it's 50. And we got like someone here with 4K. We got someone with, if they're saying like even 10K or something like that.
I didn't make 50 in the course of the entirety of my time on that app. So that's the thing. It's like this whole thing is, in what fucking world? How, 100K? $100,000 on Pokemon cards in 2 months? It's not like I streamed every day. And I didn't stream, like I said, I had a very very cut and dry system. Typically 30 cards. There was like 2 or 3 streams where I ran 40 to 50 cards. But with 40 of those going at $8, $12, $15, you know what I mean? Not all these cards going for $2,500. I've sold, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 cards that broke the $1,000 mark total. And then I sold a bunch of small shit. Literally, the first 1,000 orders was all weird, shitty pool box stuff where you just have to protect yourself anyways. So that was followed by me starting to run singles and just taking L's on them, trying to build up the rapport with the community. Because I didn't have the following or the base to get those people to run those prices up yet. So then it was, if we split 50-50, because I made it to about 2,000 orders. If we split 50-50, the first 1,000 orders was all janky $5 shit that I had to take a loss on, right? It's like a law of averages after packing materials, all things considered. I took an L, right? And I was like, cool, I'm going to do that because I'm going to get myself to this level where I can start pushing singles. The second 50%, now 100% of that 50, 75% of that I was taking L. It only got to the point where I was building up that last 25% of those streams, right? The last probably 300 cards, maybe 400. So we'd say 60-40 split on like the second 1,000 sales. I took an L on the first 60. there wasn't the people in there. You can't just mysteriously make these people get into your stream when you're a new streamer, right? So you had to build that, and I had to build that through word of mouth. The only way to build that through word of mouth is to provide those cards, start everything at $1 and let it rip, right? I took the L, but that made people go and talk. That made people go and tell other people, like, hey, man, I got this in here for this much. It was crazy. Get in there, check it out. So then all these people started talking and getting their people in there, right? But it was a slow build to have those customers that would come in and drop a substantial amount of money. I got 8 alive on the majority of that stuff. I legit had all the way down to like my biggest sale was that Venusaur that did land. And I took a hit on that too, versus what I could have got over market, where I should have just sent it off and graded it and sold it. But was still at that point trying to build this thing into the remainder of this inventory that I'm sitting on, the stuff that I've been after for a long time. I was in this pre-COVID, right? So before it all boomed and exploded again, I was able to buy all this stuff strong. So I've been sitting in a good position. So I'm trying to build myself to the point where I can sell these things off and start to get those customers in there that know that they're there to play a big game, right? That's when all this shit happened, and I'm the one that opted to back out of it. It only takes about 37 random threats of violence on 5 platforms in 4 hours before I'm cool with not being there anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That seems to be a trend. I don't get why people do that. Like,
I have no idea.
Especially if it's written.
Yeah, well, and that's my whole thing. I'm not in a hurry to like go press charges, right? If anything happens as a result of this shit, these people wrote this from their IP address. Mm-hmm. It's like, in what world do you think that you're safe? Like, if something did come to fruition, right? I'm not necessarily worried that it does, but also, who am I to say it doesn't?
Yeah.
Right? These are perfect strangers to me. And the fact that this is where people's mentality goes, I grew up kind of rough and tumble, right? We would go and fist fight on the weekends at drunk parties and whatever, right? It's not like I have a fear of humans per se, but why on earth would you carry yourself like that as an adult anyways?
Yeah.
Right?
You're gonna end up getting charges pressed, and is it worth it?
You know? Yeah, well, and it goes so quick to, I'm going to kick your ass. Like, what adult is saying that to another adult in any circumstance? Mm. Right? The only adults that I know that are still out there kicking people's ass would never, ever write it to you first. Right? And those are the ones that are totally cool with going back to jail today. They never grew out of that, right? It's a very strange dynamic, and it's just an interesting world we live in, and I can only assume that there's no validity to it, right? Because it's these people that are behind the comfort of a keyboard somewhere. There's no face-to-face interaction. There's nothing that ever comes from it, but they can say these words, and they can feel some type of way that they got that off their chest or whatever. I don't understand it. It's not how I approach stuff, right? I'm not going to threaten someone with violence. I'm not going to threaten a perfect stranger with violence. If I was concerned with anything, I would have took zero.
They're even taking it to the point that like they're going to send death threats. Like, are you?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Yeah. No, I have death threats.
Why?
I have a window smashed out of one of my cars that I don't know. It got rifled through. So it's not like there was anything in there. My dad died. He left me an old car. The window got smashed out. The center console got rifled through. The timing is very eerie based on getting all of these crazy messages and then having it happen. But at the same time, it's like, the Nextdoor app, people talk about people prowling through vehicles and garages and sheds and whatever. Mm-hmm. These things happen, right? So I err on the side of it's coincidence. I don't think it's connected.
Yeah, it sounds like someone just trying to find some change or sunglasses or...
Yeah, whatever. But at the same time, I've also never been in a position where I've got like literally countless random threats. Like people like all the way down to like, I'm going to find you and slap the shit out of you. Like how stupid that sounds.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not the man you would walk up to and slap the shit out of.
I've seen so many people say that, and then they like name the event too. It's just like, can you add any more details? Like, you're going to get yourself in so much trouble.
I truly don't get it. It's not my approach. So I just, the moment it started happening, and it happened in like a bombarding fashion, and frankly, I'm assuming that's you that's called all these times from the no number.
Yeah, that was me. I have a private number, you know, because I usually call a lot of scammers and stuff. So,
dude, well, and I totally understand where you're coming from.
I don't answer my phone anyway, but
right. Well, and I virtually never do either. It's 2022. Anyone that wants to contact me, shoot me a text message or like I live with. Right. So I'm not super prone to answering my phone, but then seeing this like no number call me over and over again, and looking at it like, there's no fucking way I'm answering this. But this is just this is the next step. Because now these people have ran out of ways to contact me.
Yeah.
So now.
But
now
I mean,
what?
if they're all
now
paid back, then
who looked up my phone number? Now who gave out my phone number? What? It's not a matter of if they're all paid back. Half of these people that are saying shit that like the story has picked up traction with is people that are giveaway gremlins inside of Whatnot, just bad mouthing anyways. They're the same ones that were bad mouthing these other people prior to me. Like as soon as something like this picks up, there's that little, and I think it's a very small portion, but it's a small active portion of every internet community that's just troll. Right?
Yeah.
So that's where this stuff picks up steam. So like I was getting messages that said, I'm going to slap you, from people that I never had a sale to. We know where you live. We're coming for you, from an account that had existed, that had made purchases, that had never made a purchase from me. Right. So it's like, you're cool. Whoever you guys are, great. Right. One guy told me that I took $5,000-$10,000 slabs from someone. I'm like, who the fuck? Who? But $5,000-$10,000 slabs. So I got 5 base set first ed Charizards in a 9. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? So I have all this crazy shit happen and these crazy messages, and then I start seeing no number phone calls. Like, there's no way. And the fact that they were repetitious made me even more weary. Had you left a voicemail at some point, I would have checked and been like, oh, okay, cool. I'll pick up the next one.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not trying to
maybe I should do that. No, I usually just, if I call the second time, then they're like, oh, I guess it's not spam. I've had people say that like it comes up like suspected spam or whatever too. And
it says I have an iPhone. It just says no caller ID, no number. And then when you click info, it says no information.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's ultra sketchy.
That's just
at a time where I'm getting bombarded with these messages, and then deactivated the platform for these people to send me this stuff, right? Because you could go find me on Instagram to send me those hate messages after that. So I just deactivated the account because I'm an adult, and I can press the deactivate button. I don't have to engage with these people, right? So it's just, it's all been a shit show. Realistically, like I said, if you want to reach back out to any of those people,
they're welcome.
Feel free.
I kind of meant to, or need to send the invitation for them to actually, if they want to talk to me, they can do so. Funny enough, Vita, before making the first video regarding him, I told him he had every chance in the world to talk to me if he wanted to explain what the situation was, if he wanted to just like apologize and like sort things out and remove like his negative feedback that he left on people and whatever.
Right.
And
be an adult.
He not only didn't show up for the time we scheduled, but his wife called me 15 minutes after that on her way to work or something, saying that he went for a nap or he fell asleep or something. Like, oh, okay, so clearly he doesn't want to talk to me. Then like he had like a temper tantrum in my Discord. where him and his wife like went off and fought with everyone, which was kind of funny. And then and then I gave him another chance, and then he didn't want to talk anymore because he was like, "Oh, you're just gonna make a video." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a video." But if you wanted to claim if you were, he says he's framed, but he didn't want to provide any details, but everyone else did.
But it's like framed for what? You can't be framed for personal character.
Yeah, framed for breaking all the rules and whatnot. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess.
We canceled him or something because everyone was jealous of his following. Yeah,
but his following, that he was jealous. Like I said, the guy had like 13 or 14,000 followers. I had 3,000 followers. He wrote me a text message every night telling me he was jealous that people spent money in my stream. Mm. So
maybe
he was aware.
Maybe it's because you weren't buying your own stuff.
Well, his following that he built up wasn't solid, and I think that's probably it. I was willing to take that L for that long time I was talking about in order to build a rapport and a customer base, where he wasn't willing to take that at any point. So, like I said, he's the first person to tell you had 12 or 15 iPhones with burner accounts and
whatever. Yeah, so maybe no one was buying his stuff. People were buying his stuff, but it was his own accounts, and then he was canceling transactions.
He was buying from himself, so there's no actual money involved. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Probably that.
I don't, frankly, I don't want to put too much energy into that guy. I feel like there's very few things I regret to like a high level in life. One of them is dealing with PokeVita on any level. The guy is really toxic. Like I said, people that
I really don't want to anymore, and I was really hoping that he somehow was less involved in this than he seems to be.
No. People that were in good standing with him, like as far as I could see on a topical level, reached out to me and told me, "Hey, he's gonna burn you. Don't deal with this dude." And then I would go in his stream and I would see those people, and they were like conversing and like happy-go-lucky with him as far as his chat was concerned. And
as soon as they don't show up, he probably is like loses it.
It seemed like hatery at first, but like I said, when things started to add up, like verbatim, like the exact sentences that people told me to look out for were taking place. Like this guy would say the same stuff, he would do the same things. You can't predict this guy's movements if they're not on repeat. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Then this guy was just on repeat. So, frankly, I wish I never encountered him. This is something that I think you'll see in reaching back out to those people or whoever or whatever. Anyone that's on Whatnot is taken care of via Whatnot. That's very cut and dry. A lot of them, I'm sure, stopped making as much noise because their money hit their account. Yeah. I've received several messages from people that have said, "Hey, I got my refund. I wish this wasn't fucked up like this," or "I wanted that card," or whatever. I didn't respond to those people. I'm not entertaining the responses to anyone because there's no good answer to give there. Right? Yeah. I know I can't win whatever this is. Right? This built up its own force and strength.
Yeah.
I was willing to remove myself. So I know I can make everybody right and move on. Sure, they don't like me. Well, I'm sorry. I guess don't like me. I totally won't be back on there. Totally won't be selling to you. Totally don't have to worry about liking me. Right? The no harm, no foul in it is that I still have my cards and you got your money back. Right? So I'm not out and you're not out. That's every transaction through Whatnot. Every single one of those things that you mentioned on a personal level with those people, there's a receipt for payment. There's no mystery.
Yeah.
So feel free to reach out. You know what I mean? I'm not anyone that says otherwise, I will gladly screenshot and send right your way. Right?
Yeah.
That's why I keep everything.
And then if that's all fixed, I think everything's good.
Yeah.
And my personal advice would be to never touch Whatnot, but definitely don't touch anything with Vita.
I'm not on a consumer level, much less a seller. I felt like Whatnot kind of dropped the ball with me too. Like I literally was like, I don't know. The second it wasn't 8.9%, 2.9%, 30 cents on every transaction, trying to reach out to support and get a prompt response is crazy. If you say like, hey, your money's in jeopardy, they respond to you immediately. When you're like, hey, I'm getting a bunch of these threats and there's this crazy stream going on, these people are badmouthing me, they're like, yeah, we'll respond to you in 2 days, 3 days. Right? And it'll be Gabby, and the next time it'll be Steve, and the next time it's Bill, the next time it's Judy, whatever. I'm just saying random names, right? That's not accurate.
They might actually have like random names. If it's anything like the Pokemon Center where it just like it's signed off by a random name generator.
It's 1,000,000% Pokemon Center interaction. Right. I'm still waiting for some stuff that was messed up on Celebration, and that's exactly what the email thread looks like. So it's the next person just picks up where it was left off, and it's signed off whatever random person, regards Steve or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm 100% staying off of any platform remotely near like similar to what I have no urge or no need. Like I said, I've been selling elsewhere for years and years and years. They're traditional sales platforms. You make your purchase, you rate your sale, have 5 stars on them from over a decade. And the only common denominator to my 5-star sales record every single place is that PokeVita wasn't involved on 7 of them. So the one that I got dicked over. And like I said, I made a couple mistakes in that, right? One of them went a lot deeper than I wish it would have. I messed up a personal relationship of mine too, someone I had doing stuff for me. With that being said, totally my fucking fault, right? Because that's a person I had do something for me. So that's my fault. That's something I had to take care of. Outside of that, all the Whatnot stuff is square. Any of those people, like I said, you can reach out. The last one is Big Hits, and we're in current correspondence. He knows that the tail end of that is coming. He's already received a large chunk. The rest of it is on the way. We have actually a pretty long correspondence on like a friendly level that's taken place since then. Yeah, and outside of that, I'm not. There's nothing floating, right? So there's a big rumor mill, but there's nothing tangible. I'd love to find out what the crimes committed in the car were, though.
I'll ask some more about that.
That would be the icing on the cake for me. So if I just could know what crimes took place in the car that's been broken down for like 10 months, since like well prior to. Well, I guess technically it still ran on like a in-town level. It's a Range Rover, and the supercharger went out, so the car goes into limp mode. It won't go over 20 miles per hour. So like,
it's not a great getaway vehicle.
When we moved, I had to have it towed because like you can't even drive it off of like a residential street because it doesn't go fast enough. And it's like a $9,000 fix, right? I'm just like not in a hurry to dump $9,000 on fixing this thing. So I'm just curious what high speed getaway I was involved in the car that goes 18 miles per hour and then flashes and beeps at you. It looks really nice, so I'm sure the confusion was there and they thought they could just say something, but that's whatever. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. I gave you what I got. Everything that I said, like I said, is all supported by a document. There's no curiosity behind it, so there's no level of opinion. It's all fact. If anyone else is running with fact, that's awesome too. It doesn't sound like it, right? It seems like it's a bunch of people that had something to say, maybe still have something to say if they're the tail end of those orders that's waiting on those residual refunds. I think, like I said, I think there's like 18 orders left that are left to process. But those will go through, I'm sure, just like every other one of them did. And the only stuff remaining is small. There's nothing outlandish that's hanging out anywhere. There's no, there's just nothing.
Okay.
There's just nothing.
I'll let you go, but yeah, I'll be in touch if there's any issues. But I'll see if any of the other individuals that are I think they're owed something. If they want to actually speak to me, then they're welcome to do so.
Yeah, and like I said, if they say anything otherwise, I'm glad to talk with or send my side or whatever. I'd like to keep it as minimal as possible because I really just want this thing to be dead.
Yeah.
It's not something that I want to breathe too much life into. But I do have a paper trail of everything.
Okay.
So there's no room for opinion, and I'd almost hope that I'm on erring on the side of having whatever faith in humanity. I'd love for them to say, "Hey, yeah, no, that is what it is," but just on the off chance that they don't, I would love to send that right over.
Okay. Perfect.
So, alrighty.
Sounds
well,
good.
Mike, thank you for your time.
Yeah,
I
thanks for
suppose
talking to
when
me.
I see a no number call again in the future,
It's
I will
probably
try to answer.
Probably me.
If I don't, if you could try to call back in like
Yeah,
interval, it's not like I've got a way to reach back at you. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, you have a wonderful night, man.
Yep. You too. Bye. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know how you made it through the duration of this insanely long video. I'm not even sure at the time of recording this how long it was, but it was very long. Thanks for watching all of it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see if there's more information on this. I don't know if it's going anywhere, but that's pretty much it. Love you guys. Join the Discord. See you next time. Bye.